Hello. Hey everybody, happy Monday, the start of another week, and you're very welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator and part 5 of our Jet series. Tonight we take a look at the F-18. Ooh, very fancy machine this, and well, also made famous with Top Gun. Between this and the F-14, I mean, they just look the part, don't they? So, what we're doing tonight, as there's many buttons at my disposal, and I've already broken stuff, including the bot. Oh, Jesus. We'll see. We'll see how we get on, right? I did some testing earlier on, you see, right? And we're live here in the glorious home of Twitch, but we're also beaming to you live on YouTube, and we also have 4K coverage on YouTube, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see how it all kind of, right? So, right to tell you what we're doing. Escort flying, lads, right? Murph, the first part of your message didn't send. Scorpio, I saw a hilarious photograph with a bottle of gin. That looked amazing, right? But anyway, what we're doing tonight, well, part 5, the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet, Escort flying. The flight is broken into 2 parts, and I'm going to show you this on Navigraph, right? So, we're on the ground here at this little place, and it's known as Hunter Air Force Base, or Hunter Air Base. That's where we're located, Kilo Sierra Victor November, and we're going to be flying F-18s, all of us, from here, all the way up to Kilo Charlie Lima Tango. Right? I mean, the excitement here is already off the chart. Charlotte Douglas International Airport, which is a shared military and civilian airport. Then, friends, we shall await for the arrival of a Boeing 747 designated Air Force One. I'm going to fly that. It'd be brilliant, right? And we're going to fly then a escort flight up to Andrews Air Force Base in Washington, D.C., I'll have you know. So the first leg in the F-18s, that'll get us up to Charlotte. Then I'm going to take over in the 7-4, and hopefully we can get a massive escort. Or just hanging around, flying around, and general messing. I've also noticed people were saying they wanted to get the old KC-135. I have it downloaded, so feel free to fly that along as well. You don't have to fly the jets. Maybe you'd like to chance your arm at a 747 or any of the airliners. In fact, we should have plenty of fighter escorts to lead us up and along the way, right? So that's how it's all going to look, or at least we think that's how it's all going to look. All right. So, what are we doing? Well, the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet, it's a all-weather, supersonic, twin-engine, carrier-capable, multi-role combat aircraft. Designed as both a fighter and attack aircraft, hence the FA, designated or designed by McDonnell Douglas and Northrop, the F-18 was derived from the letters YF-17 in the 1970s for use by the United States Navy and the Marine Corps. The Hornet is also used by the air forces of several other nations and formerly by the US Navy's flight demonstration squadron, the Blue Angels. Did they change it? I think they have Super Hornets now. Anyway, for tonight's flight, we are tasked with a presidential escort as we depart Hunter Air Force Base. And we're going to make our way up to Charlotte. From there, we await the arrival of Air Force One. And then as we depart, just ahead of the 747, we remain in the vicinity until Air Force One is airborne, and we escort it all the way back up to the nation's capital for a full stop landing at Joint Base Andrews. That's the plan, you see? And even though I put flight plan available here, I didn't. I forgot. But it's grand. There's only a couple of airports. Totally fine. We won't get lost, right? Exclamation point route should give you the route. And exclamation point plane will give you the plane, and who knows what other bot commands work. Whether I've not gone with live because it's just, well, there's nothing to really look at, really. It's clear blue skies. So I've added in a bit of Weja. Time of day, though, I think is live. I'm on live time, right? So, friends, this is the aircraft of choice for tonight. Now, the F-18 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the default one, it's quite basic, right? There is a freeware F-18, I want to say C or D. Anyway, there was one made by DC Designs. It was the original FSX F-18. So that's available in the sim. And then there was also another modded one, but I haven't used it in quite some time. Plus, I want to make sure that everyone on Xbox can fly along with us. That's why I've gone for this aircraft tonight. So it's basic so far as, well, there's not much in terms of the systems. It looks very good. The sounds are very good. And actually, when it comes to the flight characteristics, the modeling of how the thing flies in the air, it's not actually bad. It's established itself well as a a combat aircraft or fighter aircraft or just a jet, right? Because there's no combat capability with the thing, such as Microsoft Flight Sim. But it's still fun to fly, right? And the fact that it's free, it came with the 40th, or came with the. Did it come with the 40th anniversary? I think it did. But it's just fun to fly. So that's what we're going to have a bash at and see what happens, right? So as we can see from the exterior, it's a very dominant looking airplane, isn't it? I mean, the shapes of this thing, the V-tail design, the massive air intakes on the front, this thing, the F-18, it's a gorgeous looking aircraft. I'm a huge fan of this thing. Built the model when I was a kid. Well, when I was a smaller kid, back in the day. The old Airfix all the way. And well, this livery that comes with it as default, you can just see that has Navy on the side of it. They are used on aircraft carriers. These replaced the F-14s in a lot of circumstances. So it is a carrier capable aircraft. It comes in either a single seat or a twin seat, jump seat, and the role of which, or the roles capable to it, well, they're massive. So when it comes to escort flying, we have a lot of options, right? Escort flying is used for fighter protection, or it's just used for close air support, or it's even just done for show. You'll often see with foreign dignitaries flying into other countries, or, if there's kind of important or special guests coming in, escorts will always ramble them up, fly alongside them, and lead them in. And we've seen that pretty much in every country. I mean, in Ireland, for example, I know when the Lancaster came in for the Bray Air display, the Air Corps sent up a couple of aircraft to escort them in. They did the same with Air Force One. They've done it throughout the years, and it's usually the same over across in every country. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we're going to be flying. The visual fidelity of this aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim, they've done a great job modelling it. It looks the part, right? And again, this is kind of similar to the F-14 that we were looking at last week. If this is enough to kind of, you have a taste for these sort of aircraft now and you want to be able to do more and lots more, well then I would kind of point you in the direction of DCS, because the F-18 in DCS is extremely it's study level, right? It's absolutely bananas what they've managed with that aircraft, with the systems depth, the combat, everything. It's unbelievable. And the sounds to boot, it's one of the most incredible sound engines in any sim over on DCS. But alas, we're here in Microsoft Flight Sim because, well, we want to explore planet Earth, you see, and that's how we're going to do it. So what we're going to do, I have the chat open, and we've viewers here from everywhere, from that place to this place. So if there's any issues with the stream or if anything breaks, I've silenced. The alerts will still show up, but we're getting double alertage, right? So I've just muted them for the moment. They are working though, but I'll see everything pop up here in the chat anyway, do you know? So it should be grand. So we're going to ramble in here and say hello to people. There's a lot going on in the chat. How far does this chat go? I think it goes all the way. We'll start at the very beginning. So we have Alpha What Now is here. Oh no, look, it moves. It doesn't stay. Balls. Right. Okay, hang on. We'll go from the very beginning. So this is going to be hilarious, right? All the way to the top. So Mr. Zed Ryder is here. It's very good to see you, man. Hang on now. We'll go from the very start. Big Papa Polly, welcome aboard. Mickey Ozzy has subscribed for 10 months at Tier 1. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. It's great to see you. Super Typhon is here. Vacuum is in the house along with Tarnish Mossman. Happy Monday to you guys. Control Major Tom is here. I'm on Crown. Rambog Mord, the absolute genius. It's good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Sean Dale says, hello everyone. I hope you're all having fun. And you. Hex the legend, the man who's upside down. Happy Monday. You're looking well, Hex. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Good to see you, my guy. Alpha What Now is here. Welcome in. Fiber Strike, he says, good afternoon, Murph and Fireflies. Had a great stream yesterday and now catching up at the VA. Nice. Nightsep is here in the chat. Good to see you, Nightsep. Welcome in. Captain Meowingtons is here. Lee Dixon, welcome aboard. Rubicon Minis, happy Monday to you. Sterling58, he says, g'day, y'all. Cy Murray's in the house. Welcome aboard. Now, we're catching up already. MDA is here. Hang on, I have buttons to press now, lads. Good to see you, MDA. You're very welcome in. Jan Race has subscribed for 26 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. It's great to see you. Time flies, so does TTM. Right, it's flat out. Husker 2, late start, still hungover from Friday. No, you see, we're going back to Zulu time. So it's 8 o'clock here now. So we're the same as over in the UK. We're in the same time zone. Do you know? But yes, all is well in the realm. Dougal McTavish is here. It's good to see you. Mr. Z Rider has subscribed for 32 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, man, for all the for the 32 months of Twitch support. Thank you very much indeed. Gibbo Ireland is here. The man who fixes things when I break them. How are you, Gibbo? Now, Gibbo, I'm after breaking everything, as you can have imagined. I've broken everything already. But listen, we'll hang on, lads, right? Just hang on now and we'll be there and we'll be grand, right? Nighthawk is here. He says, UK falling behind an hour this week. Canada fall behind an hour next week. Yes, that's correct. Alison Johnson is here. Hello. Welcome in, Ali. How's it going? Daedalus, it's good to see you. Quasar Core is in the house. Welcome aboard. Energizer is here. Happy Monday to you, man. Goodness Sake has subscribed for 18 months. Jesus. Welcome in. Thank you very much indeed for all the support. Now, let me see. Wombat49. Happy Monday to you, Wombat. Hope you're keeping well, my dude. Toto2495 has subscribed for 13 months, man. 13 months. God almighty. Thank you very, very much indeed. Tomorrow's Halloween, by the way. We're just saying, right? So who knows what sort of scare we'll get. I have to cut the grass. That's scary enough. But anyway, Whack-A-Mo, good to see you. Martel is in the house. Welcome aboard. Muttley, do something. It's good to see you, man. Muse Fan rambles in. Yes, inaudible. That's what we want. Muse, good to see you, man. Kozaki Flyer is here. Happy Monday. Serious Wolf. Happy Monday to you, my dude. You're looking well. Hummingbird is in the chat. Good evening, all, she says. Hello. Welcome in. Happy Monday. How are things? Old Veteran 965.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Has rambled in. Good to see you, Scott. Welcome in, welcome in. Wayland Jutani is here. Good to see you, my dude. Dougal says, I've hardly flown the F-18 at all. No potential for disaster here. Nope. It's going to be totally fine. Nothing to worry about at all. I like them odds, Dougal. Yeah, I like those odds. It'll be totally fine now. Husker 2, welcome in. Totally forgot that Europe rose the clocks. Right, we're mad. Just to be, keeping one step ahead of us all. Scorpio 49 is here for 32 months. Scorpio, thank you very, very much indeed. I must have a look at that Discord thingy you sent me. It looks brilliant. Now, let me see. Stick Figure. Happy Monday to you, dude. I hope you're well. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, you're looking well. Kean Lafford is here. Hello, hello. It's good to see you, Kean. Happy Monday to you. Now, we're catching up. Dad in Command has subscribed. 15 months. Jesus. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. Great to see you. Great to see everyone here tonight. Thank you so much for spending your Monday nights with me so you're not out in the cold or in the wet or, looking at reruns of do you know what came up my phone the other day? This is brilliant. Did you ever watch Home and Away, right? Flyman Alf, Flyman Stewart. Do you remember Alf, right? Alf Stewart out of Home and Away. The video that came up on, I don't know what it was, Facebook or one of these. It came up anyway, right? And it was it was Alf, Flyman Stewart. I must have watched it 5 times. He says Flyman. Yeah, Flyman Gala. Yeah, Flyman. That's all he says, right? It's brilliant. Alf Flayman Stewart, absolutely hilarious. How did we get onto that? That's not important. But yes, wow, reading the plans for Sim 8 Update 14. If it pans out, it's going to be amazing. Shh, say nothing. That's all me Wednesday is based on that. Say nothing. But yes, Crying Zonda, hey, good to see you, man. Gaseous Maximus is here. Good to see you. Is Murphy flying the E or the C? This is the E, I think. Soaring AJ. I have a button for you.
So I get off the plane and I forgot to undo my seatbelt and I'm pulling the plane through the terminal.
Right, through the terminal. It's good to see you. Andrew Williams is here. Welcome aboard. Now, let me see. B. Carlo, happy Monday. Keane Afford says, 4K on YouTube. The people of YouTube won't be able to comprehend Murph's mallet in 4K. What are you talking about? It's glorious, right? Some say it makes me look even younger. In 4K. I don't know why, but it makes me look younger. It does, because it's 4 times the resolution, not 4 times the size. Although, well, moving on swiftly. Zard is in the house. Good to see you. Patrick, how are you, Patrick? Evening, Murph. Happy Monday. Route 66. Never again, he says. Never again. It's grand. Mr. Dan is in the house. Good to see you. Now, let me see. What could go wrong with Murph in Air Force One? That's right. That's the spirit. Nothing could go wrong. Now, they are in Super Hornets. Jay Winokur, happy Monday, man. Yeah, it's Super Hornets they fly now. which is just, I don't know what, I'm unsure, you know, Hornet versus Super Hornet. Didn't they get a new power plant and avionics? But they definitely got new engines, I think, didn't they? Now, let me see. Chiba Hawk is here. It's good to see you. My cousin flies the FA-18 in DCS and refuses to touch this when we fly in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's one of those. It is. But it's grand, right? Totally fine. We won't worry about it. Keith O'Farrell is here. It's good to see you, Keith. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary, man. Lightning Bolt is here. Bry, good to see you. He says, good afternoon from Canada. Good afternoon, evening, morning. What time is it? 8 o'clock from Ireland. It's good to see you. Jamaumu is here. Welcome in. P.S. Morandai.
Hello there.
Hello there. It's good to see you. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Dragon 617, good evening. Hope we're well. P.S. Morandai, we are. Merv, what plane exactly will you be flying to be Air Force One? A Boeing 747, I think. Who be this? Mask? No? Mash Croc, that's the one. Thank you very much indeed. Tier 1 subscribe for 2 months here on Twitch. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. Really do appreciate it. The love, you can fit it right. It's very emotional, isn't it? Paparazzi, good to see you. Sticky Rice is in the house. Welcome in. Now, where are we at? Am I catching up here, lads? I think I am, haven't I? I mean, we have to be. Surely, at this stage. D. Jing, good to see you. Welcome aboard, man. Super is bigger, more fuel efficient, and better radar and avionics. I see. James747 James is also here in the chat. Good to see you. And we also have some people joining us on YouTube. Gabe is there. Hello, Gabe. You're very welcome aboard. John Morecamp. Hello. Welcome in. If you're on YouTube, just say hello, and you'll come up here in my chat over here, and I can find you. I need to change the colours. But yes. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to go flying now. We're going to be live on the Southeast Asian server, and it should be a bit of fun. Jackson, thank you very much indeed for the follow. You're very welcome aboard. So, right, let's get to it, lads. So, how does one fly this machine? Well, I'll tell you all about it. So, that's not the right button at all. Look at the state of it. Isn't it gorgeous, though, isn't it? So welcome to the cockpit of an F-18, and bearing in mind, again, this is Microsoft's version. It's going to be a little bit lackluster when you're looking at what DCS has to offer, but this is what we have in the sim. This is what we're going to use. So a little bit of familiarization of how we're going to get this machine from this position, hopefully into the air as we're flying around. That's the hope. Let's see what happens. Murphy, have a problem. We can see your nose hairs in glorious 4K on YouTube. What do you mean me nose hairs? You need to tell me if you're right. I've double alerts. We need to fix that. It's all broken and shagged. Low Tech is here with Prime for 16 months. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, man. Feckin' nose hairs. What are you talking about? I don't have nose hairs. And if I did, you wouldn't see them because they're blonde. Yes. See? Right? Like me hair. Blonde, not grey. What colour is the old mallet head over on YouTube? Anyway, a bit of familiarisation, friends. So, as we look at the main panel, we have 3 main screens, right? And they're a little bit limited, but effectively you're going to have a HSI, you're going to have a bit of a map, and you're going to have additional information. You can also get the heads-up display thrown in there, which is nice. It's handy, right? It's greyer on YouTube. Moving down the left-hand side, you'll find certain buttons, like the engine controls, including our throttle. We have some lights and fuel jettisons up on the right-hand side, main throttle, and a couple of lights for the exterior just all around here. We have our fuel systems, and then we have other bits and bobs when it comes to communications and weapons, which just don't work. But they're over there on the left-hand side, okay? Over on the right-hand side, well, we have a little bit more, including we have our tail hook, right? That's for landing on aircraft carriers. We also have our electrical components. We also have our interior lights. There's also radio stuff down here as well, and we have our FLIR and other systems. Again, they're not modelled, they just look the part, but that's where all of them live. All right, so to start us off from the very beginning, we also have a wing fold button here. That shouldn't work without the battery being on. Okay, so we have a battery switch on the top of the right hand side panel here, so we're going to turn on the battery. Are we ready? The battery, right? Sean Dale, it's not grey. VOD is still up. What VOD? Oh yeah, from yesterday. How does he smell anything through all of that? What are you talking about? Jesus. So you have a wing fold, look. I mean, it's just something you're going to play with for most of the day, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest about it. Let's unfold them. It's not grey, it's desaturated blonde. Thanks, Rambog. Yeah, sound, man. So, they work really well. So as we continue to move on down to the right-hand side, we can see we have our gen switches. We'll cycle them, make sure all is okay. We're going to come down to instrument lighting, turn that on. Console lighting, bring them up. Charts, leave them alone for the moment. We don't need them. What else do we have? All this stuff is good. So we're going to start up the APU. That's the very first thing we're going to do. All right. So the APU is located over here on the left-hand side, and we can see where our engine controls here. We have a left or right engine crank starter, and we have an APU. So we're just going to flick the APU switch to on. You'll hear the ticking, and you'll hear it warming up. And that's the APU coming alive. Sounds pretty good on this. Now, if I go to menu and I go to HSI, you have a little bit of jiggery pokery with these screens. Not an awful lot. There is something kind of cool though over here. I want to show you. If you were to see this fella here, see this HMD. Well, if you turn that on, scroll it up there a little bit, and you're back in your home position here, it effectively simulates having the HUD on your helmet. So if I were to turn away from the HUD, you'll see now that my screen still has the HUD on it. That's kind of handy. Isn't that kind of handy? Hey, Touchdown, good to see you. Thank you for the raid. Kanzui is here as well. It's good to see you, man. Welcome in. Right, so we're doing well. That works, which is kind of cool. Now, other things we want to do are lights, lads. Our lights, right? So we have some lights over here. We have exterior lights, formation lights, and we've all this jazz over here, right? So they're kind of hard to reach because the throttle is in the way, yeah? So we turn those on, and that should be all our external lights on, including our formation lights, which will see these better at night time. They look fantastic on this thing, all right? Renoir is here, it's good to see you. Finny is here, good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. Just completed my first live stream. Congratulations, well done. Gabe on YouTube says, don't listen to the Murphy. You have a full, luxurious head of skin. I'm going to start wearing a hat. There, you just won't know what to say then, will you? I'll be known as your man with the hat. It get very warm in that hat, though. That's, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking. Oh, anyway, right. We're doing this. So the APU is running. While we're here, we're going to reset our barrow, reset our directional indicator, make sure all that's working tickety-boo. And our next little trick here is, you'll notice we have the same stuff that we saw on the F14, right? And that was basically the launch bar at the front. So remember on the F14, you click that and the nose will drop down on the launch bar? So you have that there for your carrier takeoff. Retract it, there she goes, all right? There's also an important note about this aircraft. Once we start taxiing, Sir Murphbot, you big Egypt, look at this. Wait, what? What? Hey, Thub 42, it's good to see you. And there I was thinking Jimmy Somerville let himself go. Oh, Jesus. Even the bot is against me now. Right, anyway, it's all right, lads. Just as well I don't have feelings. I lost them years ago. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. That's lights. That's all okay. Barrow is set. Oh, yeah. When you're taxiing, there's a button around the front of your joystick, lads. There's that little red fella there. That's important. Your pinky button. That will turn on NWS, or nose wheel steering. That's important. If you don't press that, good luck trying to taxi this thing. It's just not going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, so we're going to go for a starter. We're going to start... Do we start the left or the right first? We're going to start the right one first. Are we ready? So, engine crank to the right. And we held it. We see the RPM now over here in the very top right-hand corner. That's starting to spool up, look. RPM is rising. John Morecamp, it's good to see you. He lost his feelings when he lost his hair, so about 20 years ago. Apparently, you don't use formation lights during the day. Okay. So engine 2 is coming up. We can see it's actually well done. Temperature, RPM, and we can also see our NOS percentage, which is effectively for the afterburner for thrust and all that, yeah? It's a good sound, isn't it? Now while we're here, we're also going to turn on our anti-skid button. That's important. We need that. Yes. So externally, have a listen to this. Like, the sounds are so good with the default F18. Other developers have used this for their own sounds, right? So that's a good start on the right. We're going to now go up and start on the left. So press and hold the crank switch. RPM is starting to rise. Make sure our generators are reset. And let's have a listen outside, right? It's pretty good, right? The sounds are pretty good. Okay, so we have a good start on both engines. Why isn't this working? Right, come down here so we can monitor RPM is stable on both sides. And again, just like every other jet we're flying, RPM is important, right? Who's this? Pixel Pilot Bob. Many thanks for the follow. Welcome in. So we're going to come back down to our APU. We're going to turn off that little switch. We're finished with that. That's off. We're going to push in the trim button here for our rudder. Make sure it's all zeroed. We can hear the APU spill down. Now, usually at this stage, you'd be going through all the all the systems of the aircraft. In the real aircraft, this is where you'd be going through all the control surfaces. They're all automatic. They go through their own automatic check, right? So if you jump outside the aircraft, you'll actually see it. You'll think the pilot's having some sort of a go with the joystick. It's not. A lot of the systems will actually do this themselves, just to see where everything's working and where it's not. So it goes through a number of tests, you see, and the flaps tend to be automatic as well. But for this, it's manual, so we'll just look after that from a manual basis. So we're going to come down to the taxi light. We're going to turn that on. And what else do we need to do here? We do have autopilot capability. It's on this screen here, all right? So we can do a couple of things with this. We can say, right, autopilot on, and we can change this then to, we can see our heading, we can see flight path, radar altitude, baro altitude, and so on. So we'll worry about that in a moment because we will be setting in a course and we can do our thing. You also have a number of dimmer switches here for your main units. And over here, there should be lights on that guy. Also turn on your bleeds here as well. That's important. So bleed air, put it to normal. It'll probably start off in like off. So you want to swing that around to normal. Okay. Now, where are we going? Are we all right? I think we're all right. For my next trick, is there anything else I need to turn on? Avionics cooling, that's not modeled in this aircraft. The canopy, we can't do anything with that. Oxygen systems. Where's the oxygen in this thing? It's over the far side, isn't it? Oxygen flow. So you do have a switch here for oxygen. It's not modeled, but you would have the oxygen turned on. Highly important, right? Hey, Care 85 is here. Good to see you. Stabilizers, yeah, but they're actually ran through the computer. Are your stabilizers. Hydraulic pressure, we can see it here on this screen. But everything else, I think we're good to go here, lads. Electrics are all working. Lights are on. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. Did I set up a view? Hang on, we set up another view while we're here. Can we get back a little bit further here? No. No. Never mind. So, remember what I said. Parking brake comes off. Start an initial roll and try and move your rudder. You can't. See the way the aircraft ain't moving? So we're going to come down to this little gadget down here and turn it on. That should engage your nose wheel steering. See the NWS? And now you can control this thing on the ground. If you don't do that, you're in a world of trouble. A world of trouble. Alright? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on multiplayer now. So we can see all you fine people who are flying with us today. And we're just circling around, you know, burning taxpayers' money. It's totally fine. And I'm going to taxi up to the top of the runway up here. Could you imagine, like, if you go to fighter pilot training school and your first lesson of the day is, yeah, just take it around the block there on the ground. It's like a driving lesson. You just taxi it around a couple of cones. There was a Finanza. Okay, sure, look at this. She's loading in airplanes. This is going to be some crack, lads. So if you'd like to fly with us, we're live on the Southeast Asian server on Microsoft. Jump on in. It's great fun, and we'll have a bit of fun. Hex the Legend. He says, me sim is taking ages to load. Don't worry, Hex. Do that thing I was showing you to do the other day. It'll be grand. Right? It'll be totally fine. If you remove all the world updates. You know? Should be fine. So many people. This is going to be class. F-14s, F-18s. Now, if aircraft are appearing as, like, bonanzas, it's either because I don't have the livery or something else. Look at that Firefly Air F-18. Look at the state of that. So hot right now. There's a Top Gun one. Up the yard. Now, for this aircraft, you also need to bind a button to activate the afterburner. So if you go to full power on your throttle, right? X-Flynn, that button for the nose wheel steering, if you go down to the front of your joystick, see the red switch just here? That's where that devil lives. If you go full power on your throttle, that will bring it up to what's called military power. You know what I mean? So if you are liking this video, lads, if you're new here, do be sure to hit the follow button. If you're over on YouTube, do be sure to hit the like button. That kind of helps YouTube say, hello there. Oh, I'll recommend you to other people. Because we do have a fantastic group of people who go flying with us. And I'm sure there are countless hundreds more who would love to find a nice, laid-back, easygoing, and slightly mad community to go flying with. Do you know what I mean? The carrier mod has brought you some headaches with the sim? Really? That's never good. Okay, making sure our lights are turned on. No clue why my F-16 is shown as an airliner. It could be the livery. The nose wheel steer three modes, low, high, and off. Falling up, is that with the default aircraft though? So onto the runway we go here. Look at the state of this, lads. What's with the default one as well? Okay. So we're going to get ourselves lined up here, right? Easy does it now. Second flight going direct or some route sim brief. Rambog, I think it's going to be sim brief, to be honest. Because it's the 7-4, I might use the sim brief flight plan for the second flight. All right? I have M3 telling me it's an F-18. Huh? Okay. Right, so as we're going to line up here. Look at that. Look at that. That's friggin' excellent. Lads, that's so cool looking. It's ridiculous, but it's so cool looking. So just to give us an idea, when we take off from the airport, let's talk about what we're going to do, lads. We're going to take off facing into the west. Jeez, that was a great film, Into the West. We're going to then do a full 360. So we're going to do a left turn, left again, and then left again and left again, head back to the airport. Essentially, it's a very wide circuit. Very wide. Because these aircraft are very, very fast. All right? Right. So, are we ready? What we're going to do, we're going to apply full power. Don't need afterburners. Full power, taxi, take off, and then stay in the vicinity. Are we ready? This is exciting, lads. Power coming in. And again, remember what we do on every other fighter up until this point. Hold the brakes. RPM is out at 90. Bring it up to military power, which is going to be 100 on the RPM. There's military power, off the brakes. We're rolling. Okay, airspeed is alive. There's 70 knots. I'm gonna look for about 150 here. There's 150. Yep, see Daisy. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Bit of a stutter, nothing like it. All right, all right. And watch the speed. Try and keep the speed down under 300 knots if possible. That's going to be fairly hard going, but you should be able to do it. So there's around 300 knots. We're going to increase our rate of climb here. That'll give us a bit of altitude, keep that speed low. Okay, gentle roll here to the left. And then a small bit of trim here if we need to. Keep the nose down a little bit. 270, we're looking good. Gabe over on YouTube says, I'll hopefully be back flying with you all in a few weeks once my new computer and download everything to it. Nice one, Gabe. It's going to be great having you flying with us again. So as we're flying this now, just get a feel for the aircraft, right? It's extremely responsive, as in it's ridiculously responsive. So the very, very
Dreamy,
small...
sleepy, nighty, snoozy snooze.
Test pilot, that was terrifying. The very small movements will induce a roll. The very fast movements... extremely fast, yeah? Extremely fast. So, what we're going to do now, Fireflies, well, if you're flying along with us on the Xbox, I want you to press 1. If you're here on the PC, press 2. And if you're just here because it's Monday night, and let's be honest about it, there wasn't anything else on the telly, you press number 3. Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2000 Zulu time, everywhere. All right. This is working out really well. We got 32 in the PC, 1 in VR, 2 in the console, and 59 passengers plus a Murph, with only 189 days left to the Eurovision. Come on yourself, Keen. Fair play to you. I can see David Edwards over on YouTube along with Wired Lad. Good to see you, lads. Gabe is there as well. Hope you guys are enjoying the streamage on that side of the world. And this is looking very nice indeed, isn't it? So it's all about the handling, right? So as we're heading out over to sea, right, we're heading out to the sea, there's no risk of upsetting any of the neighbours, because what we're going to do, we're going to engage the afterburners, right? Now, bearing in mind, the fuel burn with the afterburners is shocking, right? But you need to have a button bound to activate your afterburner, and the only way it's going to work is having it on full whack, so full throttle. So let's have a listen. So we're going to make sure the wings are level. Afterburners being deployed, unless the aircraft is dead level, it'll just give you all sorts of kind of, you know, rolling and pushing you to one side. So advance the throttle, max throttle, and we're going to go for a full afterburner. Look at that speed start to climb now. Bananas, lads. Right, bring the throttle back a bit, and let's check it out from the exterior. Mind your ears now, Francine. So we're going to go full power. And now engage the afterburners. It is the finest barbecuing instrument of the United States Navy. Look at the state of that. And like your speed, it's just incredible where it gets from. Absolutely incredible stuff. So like when you're booting around and you want to go full afterburner, it's absolutely incredible. Now while we're here, and it's all about getting used to how the aircraft handles, well, we're going to deploy a little bit of speed brake. So we're currently doing 400 knots. Let's try and ramble that back up to keep it stable. So get it back up to 400 knots. 374. Keep the nose down here now. So we're going to keep the nose down. Get our speed back up to where we need it. Bit of afterburner there to help us out. Okay, so when I deploy the speed brake, have a look at how slow this aircraft will be. So I'm going to go throttle fully back, and I'm going to deploy the speed brake, yeah? And you'll see it on the back of the aircraft, so just have a look at this. You dropped about 100 knots in about a second or two. It's frightening. So if you watch, you know, Top Gun, we'll hit the brakes, he'll fly right by. That's how you do it, lads, right? That's how it's done. Is there a sonic boom model in the sim? I'm glad you asked. Let's find out together. Where are we? Before we know it, lads, we're going to be halfway across the Atlantic Ocean. 13,000 feet. Come down here and turn off me landing light. For God's sake, you call yourself a simmer. Anyway, great to have you with us. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. There is for the F-18. There is, yeah. I'll show you now, right? So you can see the M. See the M on your heads-up display? That means your max speed, yeah? So we're currently at 0.95. Have a listen at the front. Now, notice the sound. Completely changed. All we hear is the air. Now, if I traverse behind the camera, get ready for the bang. Are we ready? Are we ready? Right? Try it again. And listen again. And that's brilliant, isn't it? Hey, photos by Kev is here. Good to see you. Right, so speed is 650 knots. We'll try the brakes again. Power to idle. Speed brakes out. And just watch it drop. And you have the visual effects and everything coming up. Speed brake in. Power back up. It's very, very good. Now, anyone who comes from DCS, the sounds on that are just like, it's a holy moly moment. It's something you have to experience, or even just have a look on YouTube with an F-18 doing that in DCS. The sound, it's so rough. It's so, you know, it's amazing. Right, so we're kind of heading back towards the airport. That's the airport over here, look. That's where we took off from. So what I want to do, we're going to use the autopilot to help me out a little bit. So I'm going to put in baro altitude, which is 16,600. We're going to activate that. And we can also go on to heading mode. Activate heading. And it's telling me where my heading is. So let's see now. Where's my heading select? I should have a little didgeridoo here to turn my heading indicator. How do we turn that one on? Hang on now, lads. Hang on now, lads. I should have a little button here that'll move me heading indicator. Okay, so my heading is set to this now, right? How do we get it on the other? Heading select or heading mode? It should appear over here. So it's sitting on north, look. We can probably do it down here. Interesting. It's so rough, raw and beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah, the F-18 howls. Do I have FS Realistic? I do, Two Dogs, but I don't use it. The Blaze says, can't wait for the Phantom in DCS. Oh, yeah. Did you see the trailer for that? Oh, my Lord. And, like, I'm looking at that thinking, is that the aircraft I'm going to finally kind of have a go with? Do you know? Because it doesn't have all these screens and that gives me a headache going, what do I press next? Do you know? So, Escort flying. Couple of things we want to learn about this before we get into it. Just like Escort driving, this is important, right? The speed of the first vehicle, or in our case, the first airplane, cannot be any faster than the speed of the last vehicle or the last airplane. That's how you maintain an escort, yeah? Because if the front runner, the lead, if he goes too fast, you can't catch up with him, he's gone, right? If he goes too slow, you slow down the entire escort, or in this case, a convoy or whatever, right? So, we've already touched on this with the other lessons that we've done on this series, and it's all about maintaining a acceptable speed, or in our case, it's going to be RPM. So as the lead aircraft, we're going to hold 90 RPM on the F-18. And this should, at a stable altitude, increase our speed up somewhere around 250 knots, give or take. It's not very, very fast, but for training, take it nice and slow, all right? So we've established a level altitude, 16,600, and depending on what the wind is doing, we should be able to get this speed up to about 250. Now remember, you're leaving yourself at least 10% power for every other aircraft to speed up and catch you. That's what we want to do, right? So already, by me just slowing down, even a small little bit, it's given the guys around me the chance to actually fly now in formation, because they can catch up, lower their speed, and then maintain the same power setting that I'm doing, and that'll keep us all on the same speed, essentially, yeah? So that's what we're doing. But it's also allowing the guys at the back to do the same. So I need to bring my power back a little bit. I went up to 94% on my RPM, and you can see our speed is rising there. So I'm going to bring it back to 90. And just easy. It takes very small movements on a throttle. There's 90 now set. Our speed will start to bleed down a little bit, and we should drift back down to around 250 knots. And everything you do as the front or the lead aircraft, it has to be so predictable. Don't do a fast turn. It's a very deliberate, slow-moving roll, right? Look at that F-15 there. He deployed the brakes, and then off he went. So if I want to start a roll or a turn on this aircraft, yeah, what we do, I'm going to televise it. So watch this. Very slowly start moving. And see the way I'm giving the guys a chance to react to it. And I'm going to hold that. And now I'm going to very slowly start rolling back. Because as a lead aircraft, these guys are going to be looking to see what I'm doing. Yeah? And I'm going to re-engage autopilot and make sure that we're at baro altitude. And we're on our heading. So if you ever...
sleepy, nighty, snoozy snooze.
Thanks, Sean. If you ever want to practice on formation flying or escort flying, start off very, very slow and start off very deliberate, because once you have the foundation for this, you can absolutely then bring in the speed, bring in tighter turns, and then start combining a number of things together, right? Now, if you can, what's great practice, as a lead aircraft, your job is relatively easy. I mean, okay, you need to know where you're going, right? And you want to be mindful of your speed. Every other aircraft, they're going to be honed in on you, on what you're doing. So they're matching your speed, they're matching your heading, right? But they're looking at your aircraft all the time. They're glancing out the window, having a look around, but they're constantly looking at your aircraft. So Wombat is currently on my 5 o'clock there. So I'm going to ask Wombat, if you wouldn't mind terribly, can you accelerate just ahead of me? Maybe bring it up to about 290 knots, and I will stay on your 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock position, right? So hopefully Wombat, he'll power up here now and he'll move ahead. I think we've Renoir here as well. So it doesn't matter who does it. If one of these guys, there's one moving up there now. So if one just kind of rambles on ahead of me, and that allows me to form up on their wing. And what's great to practice, some people are stronger on the left side, some people are stronger on the right side, some people are stronger staying directly behind the moving aircraft. It's all about practice. Constantly practicing what position. If you find yourself a little bit weaker on one side, well then try and pull it out for the other side. You know what I mean? So maybe Renoir can do it. Renoir, can you accelerate and go to my... Just go ahead of me ever so slightly, and if you sit on my 11 o'clock position, yeah? So there goes Renoir. So we're going to follow Renoir now, right? So from my perspective, Renoir's going to appear here. And basically what I would do, I would take it off autopilot, right? And my job now is to keep Renoir in that very same location. So autopilot is off, and I'm very gently just going to maneuver into position here. It's all about smoke and mirrors here. There we go. And speed is everything, right? Speed is going to become absolutely everything. So I'm going to try and form up here. And try and keep that aircraft in the same location on your screen the entire time. Don't let them go out of that area. And then you can practice on getting much, much closer. You know what I mean? Now, if you're not in the same weather, or if the wind is a little bit different, or your speeds are a little bit different, that'll definitely add to the challenge. But we're getting closer now. We'll use a bit of speed brake. Watch our altitude. Down you get, you devil. So it's all about matching our position here with Renoir. So you get the idea, yeah? So I'm going to keep Renoir in the very same position. And as long as I can keep him there, well, we're flying in formation. You get the idea? So you'll look at other pilots, they're constantly on the throttle. You look at a video of the Blue Angels, you look at the Shadows, any of the lads, they're constantly up and down that throttle. That's how they're keeping in contact with the aircraft. The pitch and the roll is somewhat straightforward, but my focus is on Renoir, not necessarily on Wombat or Hammy, who's probably behind me, purely on Renoir. My job is to make sure I stay in this area here, yeah? Roughly. And if I make a mess of it, it's okay, I can break off, or I can use my brakes, and it's all about gentle movements, very subtle, gentle movements. Yeah. So looking at the screen, I think that could be Hammy there on the left, Wombat's there just below me on the right, and if I want to break away, I'm just going to pull up. Slow it down, recenter the nose, and we can have a duck down to see where he is. There they are beneath me there now, look. So I'm going to reform where the lads are. So let's have a look at this. So we can pick up our speed a bit. Let us catch up quick. And I want to form up quickly on their wing, right? So there's Wombat. See if I can form up on Wombat's wing. A little bit too fast, so I go high. And then I can go back down low again. It helps when the sim doesn't stutter. Okay, so there's Wombat. And it takes a little bit of time, but practice is everything, lads. This is where it gets really fun. Because you can just practice the whole time. Do you know what I mean? And depending on what formation you're going for, it could be an arrowhead, it could be a diamond, it could be anything. This is where you'll practice all your stuff, yeah? That looks absolutely class, lads. And that's pretty much it. That's what you're going to be practicing on. Now, trying to stay in formation with a fighter, that's extremely difficult. Only because, well, we need to change course here, lads. So I'm actually going to down on my left hand a little bit. If you're trying to keep in contact or keep in close range with something like a 747, it's easier. It's less maneuverable and it's so much more bigger, right? It's easier to maneuver, and we'll see this during the second leg of this flight, all right? Hey, Matty Losa is here. Good to see you. Welcome in, man. So just want to get myself back on course here. And all the while, we're keeping an eye on that speed. Again, I'm after accelerating up to 94%. We don't need that much speed, so I'm going to bring it back down a small bit. So by me turning course, there's the lads over there. They've now seen me pass them, so now they're going to form back up on me, right? So let's have a look at how they're going to form up. It's going to be the same crack again. They're going to use my aircraft as their visual point of reference, and it's all about speed. If I'm making life easy for them, the quicker they can rejoin in formation, yeah? Although very few things will ever beat the time, there's 90%, very few things will beat the time when Hammy managed to rejoin a formation in the middle of a loop. Do you remember that? Incredible skills. But anyway, so here's Wombat coming in, B. Carlo and Renoir. Renoir. See the way they're forming up? And they're taking their time. They're taking a wide berth. They're now looking at me. They're managing their speed. Now, these lads make it look very, very easy because they've had loads of practice and they're very, very good at it. But there's Wombat on station. Renoir's coming up on station. There's Hammy. There's Chris. Hex. B. Carlo. And that's it. They're all back on station. So there's Hammy. Brakes fully out. He'll dip below. He'll keep an eye on me from underneath. Brakes are still there. Add in another little bit of power. Like, you swear they were, like, glued. It looks incredible. And I can tell you, right, it is hard to master. It's easy to start doing. Because you don't start off in these jets. Not at all. You pick something much, much slower. Even go for, like, propellered aircraft. Something like the Cap 10 is a great one. There's great visibility in that aircraft, right? But you want something very controllable and that you're comfortable and you know the limits. Even a Cessna is handy, especially if you're going to be doing slightly higher than the lead aircraft because you're looking down on them. You know what I mean? When we started this series, the Fuga is an ideal entry level into all of this. And then the MB339 as well. Very, very good, right? Excellent. 2 excellent aircraft to learn all of this stuff. And once you keep doing it and get used to it, it gets a lot easier and then so much more fun because it can be hilarious, right? You know, you choose to fly on a busy day and there's nothing but aircraft flying in the vicinity and then suddenly you just appear beside them. Who's this fella? What does he want? Keeping up with international relations and all this sort of jazz. You know what I mean? So that's what we can do. I mean, look how cool that looks. Doesn't that look incredible, lads? I mean, look at the state of it. Do you know what I mean? That is absolutely incredible. And we've another Bungie is forming up here now as well. So if you're flying along, try and close up on us. What rudder am I running? Obviously not live. I think I'm using a preset Hammy just to give us a bit of cloudage. That's another thing. If I'm using different weather than anyone else, it's a game changer because it makes it extremely difficult. You all need to be on the exact same weather, right? So we're flying here in the United States. We're on our way up to Charlotte and Douglas, right? But this just looks absolutely class. I have to say, it looks deadly. Hang on a second. Have we buttons here? We do. Yes. absolutely class looking, isn't it? It's absolutely class looking. Now, Scott, are you saying Lumia stream is not working? Hang on. It's fully connected, dude. So I don't know why it's not doing the thing. What were you trying to do? What's this chat match? Right now.
You have a lovely voice. Very like Celine Dion.
It is working. The old chat alerts. So I don't know what it's trying to do. Look at the state of that view, lads. Isn't that unreal? That's so awesome. It's incredible looking. It really, really is. Yeah, the lights are changing too. Yeah, it's class. Right, fuel is important. Bingo. So what do we have? 9.4 is it? Yeah, so we've plenty of fuel. So you can see where bingo fuel is. Bingo fuel. Bingo fuel. And we can change what bingo is. So look. Have a listen. Basically, we can set where bingo fuel is, and once the fuel level gets down, it'll give us an audible warning to say, bingo fuel. That's when you're in trouble and you need more fuel. It doesn't like you. Be grand! So for the next leg, it's going to be the 747, and hopefully we'll get a lot of this going on, flying around it, right? But what else can we do now in here? So I think can we turn on traffic on this? TACAN, no. Mode. Slew, no. TUP, no. NUP, north up. Declutter, not implemented. Slew, not implemented. Sensors, not implemented. There's so much stuff not implemented. But it's grand. It's totally fine, right? It's totally grand. Yeah, there's like not a lot of stuff implemented, unfortunately. What else do you want? Man. It's like there's nothing working. Interesting. I suppose the SA page is not implemented too. No, I don't think so. Look on FS Hub map. Oh really? Do we have a posse? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. There's also some exciting things happening with our airline, lads. More news on that soon. Aha, deadly. Look at this. That's awesome looking. 3AW, Tarnish is there. Kevin Riley, looking good. Reckless Ray, Zard, Seisman. Ah, it's brilliant. Looking good, lads, looking good. Right, so we're heading up to our first stop of the night. And we're not too far from it, to be honest. Let's have a look here on the map. Yeah, we'll be there in a couple of minutes. So, Air Force One is sometimes escorted by fighter jets, either for security reasons or indeed for show. Given that Air Force One is a very large aircraft that produces an extremely large amount of jet blast and may very well blow off and peel off certain flight critical parts, right, by the engines, we want to get close but not too close. Now, wake turbulence would be a thing in this as well. Hey, Epic Fool is here. Good to see you. We don't have, unfortunately, in Microsoft Flight Sim, not fully, we don't have wake effects or turbulence caused by other aircraft. That had changed the laws of physics, right? But what we do have is a way of learning how to do formation flying, in particular when it comes to escorting, right? So when you're escorting, it depends on where you are, and this is where like a combat element would come in with the use of onboard radar. You'd also have additional radar aircraft like AWACS in the vicinity that they would be providing a massive cell of information. So it's essentially putting like a giant tent over the map, right? And within that area, you'd have various control zones. Right? We won't get too much into the military side of things, but that's effectively how it works, right? And inside each control zone, well, you'd have a number of different measures. You'd have, for example, you would have your close air support, you'd have ground stations, and other bits and bobs that happen there as well. You're talking long range interceptors and so on and so on, right? So, as a pilot flying in formation, especially when you're escorting it, it's all about assessing the threat. You need to assess, well, what is the threat here, right? Depending on your altitude, depending if you're flying over the land or over certain territories or whatever else, well, 9 times out of 10, the threat is coming from the ground up, anti-aircraft, right? That's the initial threat. If you're flying up in an area that you know that there is a considerable capabilities of air-to-air threat, as in threats from other aircraft, well, that's also something you need to consider, right? And the game has changed considerably, and by the game we mean air warfare. It's changed considerably from the Second World War all the way through to the modern day. Before, it was very much you had to see your target, look at the target, and away you go. There's AI driving most of the weapon systems that are in and deployed at the moment, as in it's very much fire and forget, don't need to worry about it. And the new guidance systems in some of these missiles, they have AI running it, and they'll identify exactly who and what they're trying to chase. And the range and speed of some of these weapons are just like, they're frightening, absolutely frightening what's possible, right? However, Air Force One, for example, and the presidential flights, there tends to be 2 aircraft sent to any destination. So let's say, for example, the US are going to fly to Ireland, let's say, right? Well, in the weeks and months leading up to it, Secret Service come over and do their thing, and they talk to Tommy below at the bar. Well, Tommy, right? Then they send over their equipment and machinery, ground vehicles and so on. They monitor the airspace. They would have patrolling aircraft, usually very high altitude. You have satellites and all this jazz as well. And then usually in the weeks leading up to it, they would have the likes of the ground vehicles brought in, personnel brought in. I know when the last presidential visit, they brought in Chinooks and Blackhawks and all this sort of jazz. And then you have the main body. And you'd have a number of different escort patrols that would go up, meet with the aircraft. Then the second escort would come in, relieve them. They'd break off. They'd get refueled mid-air if needs be, or they'd land or they'd return to base. Those making the longer journeys, you'd often see a KC air-to-air tanker with them. They'd refuel mid-air. But as I was saying, they tend to send 2 747s, at least. Mainly 2 747s, but they often send 757s, and then there's other auxiliary aircraft. And the idea being is, well, you need a backup in case something goes wrong, as in there's a problem with the aircraft, but 2, it's done as a decoy. And they tend to fly at night time, depending on the zone that they're flying into. So for the escort pilot, right, the ability to take off from a location, find your target, in this case is going to be an escort aircraft, and maintain your station. That's part of it. The second part of it then is, if you're providing additional support, that you could be flying high level or low level surveillance, meaning we're the main group of pilots here now. We're all flying in our own area, and there's a big chunk of us flying very close together, right? Well, if we were to look at a map, for example, and we're all flying in this local here, at this stage, what you would have over our destination, you would have another group of aircraft providing close quarter protection in this area. So it's like zones. You'd often see them on your maps, on charts, like these traffic restrictions and all this. Well, it's the same from a military perspective. They'll have an outer, a middle, and an inner. Without getting into too much details, but that's how it works, right? So you would have anything from helicopters, air defense systems, interceptor jets. You'd have ground vehicles poised, satellite ships, you name it. So as we would be flying in, it's not uncommon that you'd have the next escort group. They're now taking off. They're already prepped, refueled. They're now taking off. And they'll cover just a circling area all the way around the airport. So as we fly in, allowing the main aircraft to land, they're already airborne. So there's zero interruption to the escort. And that's kind of what we're going to try and do here. So once we land, I'll immediately jump into the 7-4, and already we're going to have a group of people just circling around the airport. At various, they could be very close. They could be they can take a very wide circle around the airbase. But that's kind of what they do. And then once we start moving, it's the same crack again. You'd have other assets come alive up this neck of the woods, up around Washington, where they would send out their aircraft to either meet you halfway, and then you'd have a changeover, changing of the guard, so to speak, and you'd have another alert crew taking off just before the main body gets in. It varies from country to country. It varies from government to government. But you get the general gist of it, yeah? The general gist of it. So we're all heading up here, and now we're very high, so I can see the airport over here, and we 1 o'clock, look. That's where we're headed. Over this neck of the woods. Now, we're not escorting anyone, only ourselves at this stage, which is grand. We don't need to worry about anything. But say, for example, now we were circling, we'd want to be at a fairly high altitude to allow the aircraft that we're going to escort to climb to our level. Because there's other things you'd have to take into consideration as well. If you're doing it for a show, for example, if you're just doing an escort for show, which happens more times than not, it's very common. Well, then you'd want to allow the other aircraft, do its departure, get itself stable in the air, and then you'd move in. Because, well, it's going to create a threat to yourself. If you have an aircraft, in particular, if you have a 747 on full thrust baiting off that runway, you can't really be very close to it, because in a real world situation, you have wake turbulence. Wake turbulence it's the equivalent of like dropping a bowling ball into a pond. And it ripples outwards, and you're in a teeny tiny little inflatable hat just trying to hold on for dear life. It's the same thing, It's interesting. But yes. CTF. There we go. David Duggan, what do you call an Indian Elvis impersonation? A mouse shook up. Brilliant. Cargo pilot, we're on the Southeast Asian server. Tactical approach. So a tactical approach. You ever hear of a tactical approach? So a tactical approach is one of three things. My understanding is it's a high altitude short approach. It's a low altitude fast approach, or it's somewhere in the middle. So a high altitude meaning that if it's a tactical approach, you want to get into the vicinity and down quickly, which they tend to do what's called a spiraling approach. So the aircraft is just kind of spiraling down and down and down and down, and then they land quickly. If it's going to be a low approach, usually under radar, they come in hot and fast, very fast. But for this one, yeah, we'll probably do something kind of... that's how Murphy's Barber starts off. That's terrible. So there's our airport there. So if we wanted to do what's called a tactical approach, at this stage, once we get to the front of the runway, so depending on direction we're going to land at, we'll get to the very head of the runway and we'll start our approach. So let's say, for example, we're going to land... Let's have a look. Let's call it. We're going to land on runway 18 right, which is this one right here. Yeah? So we're going to pass this runway that we're going for, and then I'm going to show you then what a tactical approach is. We're going to turn hard right, and all the way we're descending. And we're just circling around in this area, the dead zone of the airport, circle, 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 and then we roll out and we land, right? So we'll try that for the crack and see what happens. It'll either go wrong or go terribly wrong, right? So this one right here. So autopilot off. Wave my wings to let me wingmen know I'm doing something crazy. Turn on my hood because I need it. Get my eye tracking set up. And we're going to dip. At that stage we would have lost our lunch. So descending now, spoiler's already out. Watch your speed as we descend. Now you could circle directly in front of the runway. You tend not to do that though because you want to be aware of other aircraft, yeah? So you're managing your speed on your descent. There's 4,000 feet. Get ourselves to 2,500 feet. Easy does it. And we'll watch our speed from here. 200 knots. We'll drop the gear here now in a moment. Runway is going to be coming in on our 2 o'clock. I just cut my finger making a sandwich. It was with a butter knife. Wait, what? How How did you do that? Haven't we got a CTD? I don't believe you. Okay, watch your speed. Runner's just ahead of us. 1500 is what our kind of hard deck is going to be. There's the runway. Gear down. Nameplate's off. And we're on approach. Depends on the airport you're going into. If you were going somewhere like in a combat situation, you do that so much closer to the active runway. But because there could be aircraft departing, it's a civilian airport, yeah? So gears down, speed's coming down. Hey, Wayne Prefontaine is here. Good to see you. Speed is 230. We're going to do a formation landing. This is going to be fun.
Dreamy, sleepy, night, snoozy, snooze.
Gibbo, you divil! 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 Okay, our approach is looking good. Speed is coming down nicely. We're aiming for the center line. Easy does it. Power to idle. Over the
Dreamy,
threshold.
sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Ah, Jesus. Ah, Jesus. Hold the nose. Speed brakes out. Jesus, we felt that. Navy landing for the win. Flaps in. Jesus, that could have been hilarious, couldn't it? Okay, turn off the old head tracker. 330, yeah. That would have been considered a heavy landing. But we're down. Okay, speed brakes in. Exit here to the left. Hey, Complete Freedom is here. It's good to see you, man. Is there devils turning off me lights? Not for the Navy. 330. I suppose the Navy landing would be harder, wouldn't it? All right. So we have, Jesus, we have a mother of a taxi here, lads. Let's go this way. Navy attack aircraft don't flare. They just kind of, yeah, they go bang. Over the bridge. This airport is from FS Dream Team. That's quite good, actually. Serious, you can't land in a carrier and flare. That's very true. Okay, so as we taxi in, as I said, the next leg in this now is going to be in the 7-4. What do you think of the F-18, lads? It's a bit of crack, isn't it? Like, as a default aircraft in the sim, it's fun. It's fun just to hop in and, you know, throw it around the place. It has nowhere near the system's depth of simulation to DCS. But no one's saying it has. You know what I mean? It's a fun airplane to jump in Microsoft Flight Sim. That's just, you know, it's fun. Oh, look at the stars. Okay, so we have the civilian part of the airport and we have the military part of the airport. I want the military part, please. Uh-huh. Which I think is over the far side. Jeez, we got a good few people here. This is awesome, lads. You can't land on a carrier and flare, and test pilot's like, hey, hold my beer. Deadly. So how are we getting on, lads? Do we still have 4K over in the other place? Is that still working? It is? I think it is. I think it is. So remember, lads, if you are watching us on YouTube, do be sure to hit that like button. And, of course, if you're new here on Twitch, do be sure to hit the follow button, and all should be well. It's working. Gibbo, is it a glorious 4K? It is. Glorious 4K. Yes. Sean Dale, we'll see you in a few days. So I've heard now tonight, lads, that... oh, look, there's AirForce One over there. I've heard that FS Reborn is due to release their aircraft this coming Thursday. And I do have a flight plan already arranged for Friday. So we'll see. I want to fly the updated Beaver. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's an Air Force One. Yeah, you're looking the part there, man. Looking well. So we want to head over here. Bit of a taxi, this, isn't it? All good here says, Gabe. Good man, Gabe. Gibba says, I count 27 nose hairs. High definition. No, wait. 4K even. Jesus. I showed me age there. I remember buying HD TVs was a thing of the future. It's high definition. So you had HD ready or full HD. It's like trying to sell you computers during the whole millennium bug thing. Y2K. You need to buy a computer because the computer you have can't go back to 00. It'll break. Huh? Right? Do you remember that? It's no Schiphol taxi in the Deutsche Bahn. Jesus, Schiphol, it's a huge friggin' taxi, that, isn't it? Right, here we go now. This is going to be brilliant. Would you look at the state of this? Over by... What's NC? North Carolina Air National Guard? Would that be right? I think we're right. Please tell me I'm right. For once. What are you talking about, Murph? You're always right. Well, that's true. There was one time I thought I was wrong, but it turned out I was right. What? Here's a fella who's full of his own... yeah. NC Air National Guard. I'm taking a guess, but like, is it North Carolina? You know. Let's pretend it is. Let's pretend it is. Alright, alright. What's the red line? North Carolina, yeah, that's it. Okay, park and brake on. Nice. So we're going to go to... landing lights are off. This is all looking good. Okay, start bringing the engines offline. How do we do this now? Fuel shut off. Jesus, lads. How does one turn off this gadget? Where's the fuel shut off? There's no way to just drop the throttle back. Here's something you should have thought of earlier, Murph. Jesus, lads! How do we turn this off? There's usually a button for the fuel. Don't panic. Don't panic at all, right? Hell of a taxi, wasn't it great? Nothing works here for the fuel. Human eye can't distinguish more than AK, so I reckon we will soon be able to have all that as standard. Then they'll find a way to add stuff. Yes, yes, yes. There's a little trick on the throttle. There should be a little button there. Is it under it? This is hilarious. There's nothing scary about sitting in an F-18 and pressing all the buttons. Right-click the throttle. Ah, brilliant. You genius, Renoir! Do And there we are. Okay. Leg one complete. That was fun. Right click the throttle. I didn't know that. Have you? All right. Gone in.
Put your bin out.
Oh, Jesus. Good man. Yeah. I'd have forgotten about that. No, here tomorrow. Asher, listen. No rest for the wicked. Good luck to you. Right, now, let me see. Right, so we're going to load back in a 747. Now, while we're here, lads, we're going to go over to sim brief, right? Let's have a look. Dish. Into sim brief, bit of background music there, Maestro. You know how this all works. Do you ever listen to the F-18 music on DCS? Just saying, it's very good. Now, we want something a bit kind of, do you know what I mean? Well, that kind of worked. Okay, so I should really kind of shut down the sim and then restart it again. Okay, sim brief. Let's be having you. Okay, so the sim is rebooting and we're going to start up a new flight. So airline. Why not? We will be departing. Wait now. On the ground here at Charlotte, KCLT. Our destination wants to be Andrews Air Force Base, KADW. And we're going to be in a 747, Boeing 748. Ooh. An hour 20 flight time. Look at that for timing. Right, we don't necessarily... An alternate could be JFK. Really, it wouldn't be. Now, let me see. We have a Sydney Star. Generate the flight. Sir Murph. Oh yeah, that was Sir Murph there, yeah. Sir Murph. It's so funny he's called him Sir Murph. It's Murph Senior. But yes. Okay, that's the flight plan done. Just waiting on the gadget to load. So if I bring over Navigraph now, lads, and if I'm going to unload and then import a flight from SimBrief, and it's going to be this one. Let's have a look. Okay, Charlotte to Andrews, and then our alternate is going to be JFK. Let's get that out of there. I don't see us going to JFK tonight. Okay, so let's have a look at this route. We're going to be departing out of runway 3. No, we're not. What's the opposite? 18 left. So 18 left is going to be the Kilns 4 departure. On up to Munby. Then we get to Durst. Odi. And as we ramble up towards, it's coming in by Thump, Hank, Golo, Beaver, Truck, Voodoo, Beetle, Polio, Decon, and Revo. It's going to be a runway 19er left arrival, which is here. And we're going to be parking up somewhere down by, what's that? The 459th ARW ramp. We'll have an idea. Just want to say thank you for the tips and deleting the POIs. I took it a step further and deleted all the discovery flights, training missions, and anything else I really didn't use. The sim loads are much faster now, says Mountain Man. Brilliant news, man. Yeah, it's a game changer, lads. Like, there's so much content. We're not using it. So why are we waiting to have it load? You know what I mean? There's no need for it. It debloats your sim completely. And then when the inevitable does happen with an LCTD, you can kind of get over it because you know you're going to be back in the air in about 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Wait, what? You can do what? Epic Fool, were you not listening the last day? For God's sake. Right, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. If you've never heard of this before, your mileage might vary now, but, you know. Muse said, I got rid of all that stuff and the sim still takes about 5 minutes to load. You're doing something wrong, Muse. You're doing something wrong. Do you have a clatter of Orbex or any build stuff loaded in? Do I ever listen to you, to be fair? I tune in and out. Well, that's fair. Okay, Epic. Going to show you this now, right? Wouldn't be like me, says Muse. I'll show you how this works, right? Sim's still loading. Give it a second. Now, it depends what aircraft you're running and all this sort of jazz, and liveries and all this, right? Add liveries and aircraft you never fly to the delete list too. Yes, Epic Fool pays close attention. Yeah. I'm going to show you what to do here. It's a way of de-bloating your sim. Basically getting rid of all the content. In my case, there was 84 gigabytes of data that the sim was loading. I wasn't using, but I had to wait for it to do the thing with the yoke with the thing, right? Now, sometimes loading times are also subject to what the servers are doing. So you want to be, you know what I mean? But anyway, this is what you need to do. Go into your profile. Go into your content manager. Okay? And what I want you to do is in the search bar, type in world. And that's going to show you all the world updates. So you're going to see all the world updates that you have installed. All of them. And they'll probably say, you know, up to date or whatever. Right? So the next trick is if you just type in, say, the first one, Japan. And it's showing you this one tile for Japan. You have a little button over here. It's like a show detailed. Click on that and it gives you a detailed list of everything belonging to the world update for Japan. What I want you to remove are the points of interest, landing challenges, and any airports you're not going to be using. The only things you need to keep there are the 3D photogrammetry cities and the procedural buildings. You need them, otherwise it'll look weird, right? You need them. But in contrast, if you look at Japan, the point of interest, they're half a gig alone. If you type in, that's not really much, but if you look at the UK one, so if you type in UK POI, that's 4.5 gigs just for the UK. You can see where this is going. If you type in Iberia POI, that's 5.5 gigs just for the Spanish and Portuguese points of interest. You know what I mean? Or just type in points of interest across the board. Points of interest. A load of POIs came with the 40th anniversary. Australia has 3. Canada has 5 gigs. So like, if you were to look at all of these, just the POIs, nothing else, right? Required disk space. Well, it's more because it's like, what's this? 3. Oh, I didn't select them all. I'm going to select them all just to show you how much space POIs take up. And POIs, lads, they are just the ground scenery objects. The things like churches or landmarks or that sort of stuff. If you can do without them, you're not worried. But if I were to remove all of just the points of interest, that will free up 73.8 gigabytes. What? That's like an alarming amount of space. And if your sim isn't loading that each and every time, well, it's going to lead to a faster loading time. What I recommend is if you're going to be flying in a particular region, well, then load them in. You know what I mean? So say, for example, we're flying in the USA. Well, I'm going to keep the USA active. Everything else can be turned off. So we found this with a lot of the world updates. There's so many places in the sim we just don't really fly on a day-to-day kind of a thing, right? I mean, we all have our areas that we like to fly every day. Well, the other areas, we'll turn them off. The other things I recommend you turn off are all the discovery flights. So you type in discovery, it'll put in an absolute heap of them, right? Loads of them. And if you were to add all of these up, is there a way to select them all? I don't think so. Oh yeah, select all. That's 1.24 gigs just on the discovery flights. If you put in landing challenges, that's 5.6 gigs just on landing challenges. You get the idea, right? We don't use this stuff. If you were to put in, is it lessons? Is that another one? Lesson? No. Lesson? No. Tutorial? Flight training. Flight training. Flight training. And select all. Unselect. Select. There's 11 gigs of that stuff, lads. There's 11 gigs of that. You don't need that, right? So you get the idea, right? You get the idea. Hey, we just got a side. Bennett, thank you very much. Tier 1 for 10 months. Very, very much indeed. Cheers, man. So all you need to keep in situ is your procedural buildings and your photogrammetry. That's it. And of course, if there's airports you want to have, right? Because there are some really nice airports that are default to the sim. And if you fly in and out of there, well, sure, yeah, grab them, right? But that's it, lads. Do you know what I mean? There may be something sitting in the Bremen bar for you. Oh, Jesus. What did you put in there? This is deadly. Irish streamer includes orange tinted glasses, a bald cap, Crocs, iced Guinness, Liverpool jersey, no hair included, mallet size costume, one size fits most. Well, Key and Lafford. Jesus, lads. That's brilliant. It would be nice if you could delete them via the add-ons linker. So, Gibbo, there is a way, but I'm telling you, it's really, really dodgy. So I've managed to do it and put all the one store stuff into the add-ons linker, right? But some of the files need to go back into the one store folder. You can't turn certain files off, and it's a process of elimination to say, well, what can the sim load? What does the sim not need to load in order to load? Otherwise, you just get CTDs, yeah. But that's brilliant, Keen. I would leave the one store core stuff alone and delete it from within this neck of the woods here. And you're not getting rid of it forever, lads. I mean, you know, if you come across and say, hang on, I actually need to have the points or the POIs turned on. I need them. I'm going to be flying in Canada now on Friday night, for example. Yeah, lash them in there. 5 gigs. It might take you 20 minutes, half an hour or whatever to download them. Do it while you're watching a bit of TV or something so you're prepped. It's a better way of keeping your sim running heavily optimized. That's the idea. Do you know what I mean? So, hang on, before they go, Epic Fool, did you get that now? Do we need to show you again? We need to hang on here for Epic Fool. Do you know what I mean? We can't leave him. He may not know. He may not know. So we're waiting on Epic now to say, yeah, I got that, Murphy. Well done. Do you know what I mean? Scorpio. Tankari. Got your message. Can you repeat the bit with all the stuff? Go into your content manager. Type into the search bar world updates. Go through all your world updates. Change the view. Not the tab, but go to the detail. Remove everything except for photogrammetry and procedural. The POIs, get them out of there. Especially in the regions that you're not flying in. Alright? Oh wait, you got. Now, anyone also, there's another problem. If anyone is experiencing crashes to desktop inside the world map view, there's a bug. To work around it, select more down the bottom here, look. More, click on more, and then go to open filters. Open filters, change the background map to IF4, and your CTD days should be gone when it comes to the world map. All right. Thank you for playing, and all is well in the realm. Right, where's my airport? Jesus, no, we're down here at Charlotte. Yes. And I wanted to be, where was I? Where? Balls. Was I up here somewhere? We came in this way. Oh yeah, we're over here, look. Yes. Ramp number 7. In you go, you big Jessie. Charlotte, I barely know her. I went as far as deleting all the planes I don't use, like the F-18s, so they're all in 320s. Sterling, I wouldn't worry about deleting aircraft. That could create problems in the sim, because the sim has a way of a memory leak. It's trying to find and model match for you. Model matching, by the way, lads, is one of the most intensive processes that the sim does, right? So I would leave the aircraft in there. Wow, just thought I've started. Oh wait, wow, just tonight I've started crashing to desktops, says Wired Lad. Yeah, you're welcome. Don't worry, lads. I'm not any sort of a genius. I'm just stubborn. It's the thing is broken, right? I'm not leaving until I fix it. And many a night it's been like late night. Do you know what's happening here, Sim? Watch, she'll crash. Load in, you devil, will you? Beat the Jesus. Right, okay. I think we're looking good. Now for this, I'm going to leave multiplayer off for a few moments because it's going to get kind of loud and bananas, right? Now let's have a look. Oh, yes. Now we're you know what I mean? Back her up there, Finton, will you? Thank you. Jesus, we nearly hit the wall. Right. Murphy's flying in a big aeroplane. This is going to be hilarious, right? Air Force One. This livery is available over on flysim.to. It's that of a V25C, I think. So this should be a terrible lot of fun. Looks the job, doesn't it? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we get some views set up here. Oh, look at that. Get some views set up here now. Let's have a gawk. Look at the state of that. Okay, so jump into the cockpit, and it's all about VC25. Thanks, Super Tight. Right, okay, so a couple of things we need to do to get ourselves up and running here. There's external power available. We're going to start off with our battery, which is over here. Standby power goes to auto, main battery switch on. And we'll go ahead and turn on our external power. There's one. There's two. Okay, so we have electricity coming into the aircraft. Get our IRSs aligned. Excellent. And let's have a look down here. She's highly automated. So hydraulics go to auto. Get some lights turned on in here because it's quite dark. And we just kind of go through our flows here. The emergency lights, arm those. Moving across, we're good. Cargo fire, don't worry about those. Engine start switches, we'll worry about those in a moment. Fuel pumps, we'll go ahead and activate those. They're looking good. Anti-ice, they all go to auto. Got some more lights turned on here. Window heat, leave them alone. We're going to get our beacon 2 on. Nav lights on. Wing and logo lights can come on here now as well. Bleeds are all off for the moment, but that's okay. And before we do anything else, we're going to power up the APU. This is the default 747 in the sim. I didn't want to use mods because I know there's folks following this series with the on Xbox. So we have some sounds. The sound of an APU coming online. Okay, APU is up and running. So let's go in and have a quick look. So we'll go down to our chart information here. Onto our FMS, position initialization. Let's see here. We want to pick GPS, throw that into the scratch pad and activate it in here. Reference airport. We are currently on the ground at KCLT. So we're going to put in KCLT. That's looking good to me. Next page, just verify. Yeah, that's okay. We're going to go to our route page. I'm going to request the route. No sim brief login. Well, the curse is St. James's Street in it. How do we get into this one, lads? Index. Settings. No sim brief. Go away, you divil you. There is sim brief. Yeah, now, lads. Need to fix this. Next page. User ID. Oh, Jesus. Don't panic! Where will I find that? Go into the thing that you need to find the yoke. Ah, I found it. Right, grand. 1 second now, lads. All shall be revealed in a matter of moments. 107786. Verifying. Active. Thank you. Back to ident. Position initialization. The route. Request. Requesting the route. Brilliant. The request has been sent. And this will now populate all our information. It's saying route uplink is complete. Load it. Load. Loading our route. Nice. Here's our route. So we can see KCLT. Kilo Alpha Delta Whiskey. Flight number AirForce 1000. AirForce. We'll just put it in as... Is it USA 1, I think, lads, isn't it? Isn't that the call sign? No? What's the call sign of AirForce 1? Let's just go USA 1. Just for the crack. Company route, no. What else you want to do? Next page. Direct. That's okay. Execute that. AF11. That was classified. But we're grand. It's no longer classified. Performance initialization. 0 fuel weight. Reserves are going to be carrying 1.0. Cost index for this, according to SimBrief, for Air Force One. Really? That has a cost index? I didn't think so. Cost index is going to be, Jesus, 150. Looking after the taxpayers' money. Cruise altitude for today's flight is going to be flight level 370. That's all looking good to me. Thrust limiter, don't need to derate. Flaps will be set 10 for takeoff. Center of gravity is going to be in. Trim is going to be 7.5. We're going to our departure and arrival pages, and then we can get our V speeds. So let me see. We're going to be departing from runway 18 left, and our SID is that called the Kilns 4. Kilns 4. Kilns 4. Transition is going to be Audi I, correct? Go ahead and execute that. Go back to index. We're going to put in our arrival. And this is going to be an arrival into the Voodoo 2 arrival into runway 19 left. 19 left. And we're going to go via the Voodoo 2. Transition will be from Beaver. Yeah. And glide slope will be on. Execute that. Into the legs page. Quick check here. So it's going to be takeoff, then vectors, then across. That's okay. Next page. Cancel that. Disco. Cancel that. Disco. Actually, just vectors here. Get rid of the vectors. I don't want vectors. Next page. That looks good to me. So see the way there's vectors. So we're just going to take off and then go straight to Munby. But I'll do that after takeoff. So that looks pretty good to me. RTE data is good. We're going to go back to init thrust limiter. So we're going to say flaps 10, 17 is our center of gravity. And we're going to pop in our V speeds. That looks good to me. Next page. Quick check here. Leave that alone. That's okay. All right. Okay, so we're looking good here now. So APU is started. APU gens are on. APU bleed is on. Go ahead and turn our packs on. Packs are sounding good. Ron G over on YouTube. Thank you very much indeed for subscribing, pal. How are you? Now, let me see. I'm going to give you some old school fighter cover in the form of the F-14. Nice. I like it. I like it. So, we're finished now with external power, so we're going to deactivate this. We're on APU power for the moment. That's looking good to me. Mr. President, do take a seat there now. We're going to play you some interesting music, and all will be well in the realm. So we come down to the center here. Seatbelt lights come on. We'll put in a Make Yuppie Squawk number. And go ahead and get our main screen dialed up here as well. So it's flight level 370. 37, up you devil. 370 is set. Speed, we're going to keep that on. We're going to go ahead and turn on our flight directors. Also here on the main page, you can get weather. We can also get our traffic report on, increase the range. Barrow is now set. What else do we need to do over here? Rejected takeoff, RTO on our auto brake. That's set. And we're looking good. The rest, lads, is going to be an engine start. Now, this mad machine can actually start all 4 engines at the same time because it's an absolute machine altogether. But we don't necessarily need to do that. So we're going to go one by one here, right? So we're going to go up on top, and we have all our start switches for our engines are here. So we're going to start with number 3. Number 3 is starting to spool. And we can see the information coming up here on the screen. And once it comes alive, we're going to introduce some fuel, and then we should be good to go. An F-18 is a passenger jet. Mike, I'm telling you. It's something to do with the liveries. Great sounds. Right, Murph, send it. Filthy, good to see you. Good sounds, right? Good sounds. Okay, jump back in here. So we should have a good start running. Engine number 3 is running. Go for engine number 4. Now again, we can do these all together, but I'm not going to bother. We'll keep it all nice, lads. We'll keep it all nice. So number 4 coming on. And I'd like to welcome everybody in. If you're watching us here on Twitch, you're very welcome. If you're here on YouTube, you're very welcome. Thank you all so very much indeed, lads, for joining us. It's a massive cockpit. Where's the ejector seats? Right, send some fuel in. It's a huge cockpit in this, isn't it? Stunning. The sounds! Yeah, Big Egypt, look at this. Sir Murphbot, what? Thank you for following, Mr. Jesus. Greek Frank. Mr. 90, hello. Okay, okay. Right, engine 1, please. Same crack again, engine 1 spooling. We need that down here? I don't think so. Man, the sounds are good on this thing. Stream title still on 18. Yeah, it's totally fine. Why am I still getting double alerts, lads? Very strange, isn't it? Is this the salty mod? No, this is default. This is from the World Update or Avionics Update. Engine 1, send it. Thank you for following, Nick. Welcome in. Hostad says, so nice, it alerts twice. Yeah, I'm after breaking something, but don't worry about that, lads. It's not like me to have broken something, do you know what I mean? Right, engine 1, auto start coming up. Now remember, our trim needs to be adjusted here to about 7.5, so we can do that now. There it should be. Engine 1 is active. Let's go for number 2. Have I lights here I can mess with? We do. There, now we're thrashing it. There's 20% on N2. Alright. I got your route, the E3 Sentry. Manhex. Right now, according to our flight plan, what was our runway for departure? 18 left. Which is right beside us. How handy was that? Yet, wait now. So it's going to be taxi Delta, Mike, and Delta. Yeah, it'll be fine. Totally fine. I love the Queen. Just something about this airplane and all her iterations. It's beautiful, Steve. It's beautiful, man. Okay, all engines running. Sweet. Let's go up here now. We're going to put our window heats to on. APU, we're going to get rid of this here now in a moment. Our generators have just come alive. So our APU, we're going to power down. APU off. What else do we need to do up here? Yaw dampener is already on. Our bleeds are all on. APU bleed can come off. Taxi light is going to be activated here with our runway turn-off lights. Yup. And that's all looking good to me. So, we were saying flaps 10 for takeoff. That's a whole lot of flaps, Murph. We'll do a flight control test. So we're going to go full forward, full back, full left, full right, rudder left, rudder right, speed brakes, and brakes in. Oh, this is tasty, isn't it? Different views here just for the crack. That's a decent view to have. Right, lads. Okay, so we're going to start our taxiing here. So let's go down to our transponder. It is off. Usually you wouldn't turn this on until you kind of enter the runway, but it's fine at the moment. Thanks, Gibbo, for updating the L-Stream titles, you ledge. Okay, so park and brake off. And then a small bit of power. The sun is setting. We should be in live time. There you go. Look at this. Look at the state of it, lads. Beautiful. We have a special guest on board as well, you know. I am not here. I'm actually somewhere else. Hello, America. Yes, we can. Jesus, have you ever met anyone who can actually do a proper Obama accent? A bit of Bill Clinton isn't too bad. I'm not even here. Right, he's not too bad. Or poor old George, you know. Oh, America, those of you from Nantucket. Do you know? Who was the other fella? Yes, just wanted to say to my fellow Americans. What was your man? That was Nixon, wasn't it? Anyway, Murph, before you get taken off the airway for insulting... I'm not insulting. I'm just saying, you know. There were many other fellas. There were many fellas. Yeah. Look at the state of this. Right, we need to talk to our distinguished guests and passengers as we prepare to fly on Air Force One.
Good day, passengers. This is your captain speaking. Captain Mallet Head is my name. First, I'd like to welcome everyone on board this Firefly flight today. If I can figure out the controls, because I have only previously done a few hours in a Cessna over awfully before this, we will be cruising at an altitude of between 500 and 40,000 feet at an airspeed close to stall speed. I really like those constant warning beepings up here as they do help me sleep. It was a heavy night last night, so catching up on some seas would be nice. I would very much appreciate it if you could all keep it down back there. The weather looks dodgy where we are going, so I'm not even expecting us to land, but if we do, we will be absolutely behind schedule. I forgot to charge my Apple Watch, so that's to blame. If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view of the city. I will pull a few hard banks so you can get a great look without the wing being in the way. The cabin crew are overworked and underpaid, so only if they feel like it will come around to offer you a light snack and beverage. But there's no gin left, so just a heads up on that. In-flight entertainment will follow shortly after that, as I have my keyboard with me for a few sing-songs. Also, none of the toilets are operational. I think the first officer has destroyed them all, so I ask you to hold it in. I will be the one running through the cabin shortly, with the wig on giving high fives, so you can easily spot me. I'll have the tip jar out if you really want to reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy this takeoff where I think I am Maverick, and we'll see what this puppy can do.
Brilliant! Right, I think the first officer has destroyed them all. Yeah, he did dose of the curry that night. Right, lads, approaching 18 left for our departure. This is going to be hilarious, right? Hilarious! So, as we approach the active, Jesus, look at the turn here. God almighty. Go handy now, Murphy. Oh, look at the driving skills here, lads. Activate multiplayer. Multiplayer is active. Oh, yes. Look at the state of the turning machine here, look. Jesus. Okay. Right, that's me right. That's me left. All is clear. This is going to be great. Oh, Jesus, there's an F-18 after coming out of me nose, look. God almighty. Jesus. Right, don't be alarmed. It's totally fine. You're grand back there, Mr. President. It's totally fine. It's all part of the plan. Yeah, it's all part of the plan. Right, lining up here, runway 18 left. All our lights are on. Easy does it now. Minimal power is all that's required here. It's a big owl machine to maneuver. Who's in the Eagle? Oh, that could be Just Flight. Oh, it is. Typical American airline. You go on ahead. Go on, yeah. Jesus, who's that over there? Look. What in the name of... Where's he going? Where are you going? You just cut off the president. Are you mad? Jesus. Right, easy now, Murphy. Easy now, lads. Easy. Right? Really disturbed. No one on the airport would be moving. I agree. I fully agree. No one should be moving. But sure, listen. It's a high-end simulation. Now, auto throttle. Get on your divil. Me checklist button. Checklist incomplete. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Where's the button for that? Right. Okay, friends. Are we ready for our departure? We're walking, we're talking, and we're squawking. Are we coming in? Ah, Jesus, look at this fellow. Where are you going? You're all right. I should have turned off just right traffic. But then again, Firefly Air would never get we'd never get this gig. Sure we wouldn't. Okay, power up. Engine stable. Auto throttle set. Where's my button for Toga? Oh, Jesus, where's my button? And Toga. Airspeed live. Don't mind that plane, it'll ruin your immersion. Right, we're grand again. Right, here we go. Dougal broke his sim. What?
V1.
V1. Rotate. Upsy daisy. Mind the tail for the strike. Easy now. Whoop, you devil you. Positive rate. Traffic alert, that's okay. Gear coming up. Easy does it now, Betsy. Easy does it. Bit of trimmage. Easy does it now, Murph. Watch your speed. Flaps up a notch. We're down to here. Legs. Autopilot. LNAV. Captured. VNAV. Captured. Autopilot on. Now don't destroy us, plane. Whatever you do, don't destroy us. Flaps in. Our sweeping left turn. Don't go above 250, you devil. Watch the speed. Look at the state of that. Jesus, look at this. Man alive, look at the views here. 246, we're looking good. Turning on course now. Flaps are in, we're looking good. Couple of traffic alerts, but that's okay, we're expecting that. Imagine if Annalisa came back to see this, Murph in a big Gickna alert. Could you imagine? Wow, look at the state of this! This is epic. Hang on a second, lads. Would you look at the state of this? Skylane, you're very welcome aboard. Thank you for the raid. That is a sight. Look at the state of it. Man alive, lads. That looks absolutely incredible. Look at what you lads are doing. This is unbelievably good. Hang on a second. That's deadly. Oh my god, lads, the flying here with you tonight is nothing short of amazing. Look at the state of it. Gorgeous. 'Tis absolutely gorgeous. Right, where are we at and how are we doing it? Bring out the old range here now, you divil you. Right, we're getting close to the top of descent. Get rid of this guy here for the minute. So the servers are acting up a little bit. That's where you're getting like planes jumping ahead of us every couple of moments. It's just... And like, I just don't fly the 747 enough. You know what I mean? It's not one of me go-to airplanes. But I'm really liking it. Since they gave it the AAU update, it's incredible to fly. It's really, really good. Make sure to send me music what you'd like for your shout-out. Who? What? Gabe, this music reminds me if I'm on a Friday night. You know what that means. Gabe, yeah, you need to send us some music for the thing with the yoke. For the thing to work. Do you know what I mean? Canary Island Simulator. Oh, lads, this is class. Look at you all there in the jets. That's gorgeous looking. Amazing. Oh, super tight. Can you imagine when that comes out? Ali planning to take the 787 out for a spin tomorrow. Yes, looking forward to it. So I actually jumped on that today just to see what it's all about. And I did a flight. I started off in Dublin and was making my way down to Abu Dhabi. And I did the tail strike on takeoff. Just as well I wasn't live. Jesus then. But it was a bit of crack. It was a bit of crack, do you know? So we're here in the cruise. I'm enjoying this. We're looking well, aren't we? We'll go to this camera now. We'll just kind of chill out for a while and have an old chat. Do you know? What's this button over here do? Ah, sure, look it. Do you know what I mean? So, some questions for you now, lads, right? What's your favourite fighter aircraft in the sim? As we're cruising along, what's your go-to fighter? I mean, is it the F-14? The F-15? The MB-339, perhaps? What do you really like flying? So I can see the F4, the F-14. Hey, Country Flyer is here. It's good to see you, man. Welcome aboard. Country Flyer likes the F-14. F-14, the Harrier, F-22, the Hawk. Even though technically it's a trainer. Yeah, the Hawk is great though, Energizer. Love the Hawk. F-22, 35 now, the F-14. Oh, India Fox Echo. Yeah. You have to wonder, does Murphy have a magnet on the ESP meter? What? It's all energy saving. Epic. Muse fan likes the MB339.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Thanks, Test Pilot. Muse fan likes the MB339. Have you any plans for Halloween, Murph? Considering you have the mask sorted to scare people away. Gibbo, read between the lines, man. Read between the lines. F-14 and F-15. Flying for Fun likes the F-22. Yeah, it's great. The F-22 sounds great, and it's gas, right? Because I've been looking at kind of, well, they come up in like Instagram or YouTube shorts, and there's stuff of an F-14 doing mad stuff, and I have to say, lads, it looks absolutely cracker. Jesus, look at the contrails there, look. Beautiful. Like, for me, when it comes to like jets, I actually really enjoyed that F-14. I think the Hawk is up there, right? Would be the Harrier if I had it, says Muttley. Yeah. What's your costume for Halloween, Murph? I'm going to dress up as Gibbo. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to dress up as Gibbo. Yeah. We need a game of Phasmophobia. Muse, we're terribly bad at Phasmophobia. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, a wild Jepson has appeared in front of the chat. Happy Monday to you, mid guy. Hope all is well. So Jepson has already created a thing for an upcoming Monday night special. Looking forward to that, man. Really looking forward to that. Why don't you dress up as Gandalf, Murph? Because, you know, the grey hair you have. Patrick, I must introduce you to the banhammer sometime. It's great crack, this banhammer, right? Literally, you get banned when hammered. Hey, Awfully Man is here. Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all having a great Monday. How did your weekend go? I tell you, it was a busy weekend, wasn't it? Do you know, we had our Route 66 flight Friday into Saturday. Finished up at 6 a.m. Jesus. Then we went flying with Ali on Saturday, and there was Cross the Pond as well. I was on Sunday, and here we are now again. The Blaze. Murph getting the heat today. Right, telling you. Yeah, Phasmophobia. When's the Alan Wake game out? Isn't that supposed to be good? No? Alan Wake? Alan Wake 2, is it? That could be a giggle. I'm not pretty good at them games, though. Look at what's going on the screen. Look at the colours we have. Jesus, look at the state of it. Look. Can you see that screen all right? You can. Well, you kind of can. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Gabe over on YouTube says, Murph, your normal music expanding Andre or Anti with the Devil and perhaps Our Hair and Eve by Enya. Ooh, it's out on PC now via Epic Games, says Gibbo. I'll have to look into it. Do we call this Murph Cam? I think so, Jay Winokur. Do we like it? Is it kind of weird, like? I'm sitting here, usually you only see the best part of me. Now you're looking at, you know, Jesus Murph. But yeah, have you ever played Five Nights at Freddy's? I don't think so. Hey, Augie is here. Good to see you. Did the devs say the Indie Builds A320 Neo is coming? Not in the next I don't think it's in the next update. It's good. It's nice and chill vibes. Well, hang on a second. If it's chilled vibes, I can give you chilled vibes. No, hang on. That's lying down asleep vibes. No. No. Now we're chilling, right? I like your monitor. Is it a 50-inch, Zard? No, it's a... Yeah, but what are these? Are they 42 or something? Or 40? 42, I think. They're not terribly big. Now, are we near top of drop? Buttons, Murph, you can do it. No, we're not on top of drop yet, lads. We're in the cruise. And I have to look at the state of this, lads. Isn't it gorgeous? Rookie Pilot, good to see you. Ah, lads, look at the state. It's nothing short of stunning as the sun sets. You swear we planned it this way. Do you know what I mean? They said Sim Update 14. That's December. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Murph, what's your cruise, Mac? Tell you now. 0.865. Asher, a handsome chap, Murph. Come on, Gabe. Right, so that's interesting to know your favourite fighter aircraft. What about airliners, lads? Now, I know we're very much a general aviation community. That's our kind of bread and butter, isn't it? But if you do like flying the big, massive yokes, or maybe the smaller regional jets, what's your go-to commercial aircraft in the sim? Is it the 7.4 or is it a 7.3? Could be the Phoenix. Maybe it's the CRJ. That thing is fast. Oh yeah, this is fast, man. Does a C-17 count? I should think so. I don't see anyone in the KC-135. I have it downloaded and everything. Phoenix A330 Neo from Headwind, says Nighthawk. Great aircraft. Angry Lou, thank you for the follow. You're very welcome in. What's making your stream on YouTube? You haven't streamed on YouTube in a year plus. I sent a letter to the person in charge. And, yeah, not a fan of the airliner, says flying for fun. That's fair enough. From my perspective, like there's far more capable people who fly the airliners than me, so I tend to leave them do it. Do you know what I mean? Because they're very enjoyable, and I love watching other streamers when it comes to the airliner stuff. Dave is fantastic, 757, and like between Jamie, Chewy, Oz Flight Simmer, you know, Shane does a fair bit of the airliner stuff. Who else? There's loads of them at it. Loads of them. A320 fly-by-wire, that's very good. The 146 is great. Phoenix, yeah. The 146 is great, yeah. The Fokker F28 is great as well. I still haven't done much streaming with that. I need to do more with that. Absolutely need to do more with that. The A330 from Latin VFR, yeah, we showed it off last week on the news. Yeah. I reckon in a couple of updates it'd be great. I must say that the 787 from Horizon, it's very, very good. Yeah, 757 Spotty. Dave is brilliant. I learn a ton from watching Dave. Trying to think then who else. As you can imagine, like I watch every single streamer when it comes to flight simming. I just do. Conti is great as well. Jeez, Conti's fierce handy for watching him on the especially the Concorde. Jesus, you want to see him in it. And that classic 747 as well. Amazing. Kane has a week off school, so what better way to spend a week off school than to fly the Trans-Siberian Railway? See you in a few days. Good man, Kane, enjoy it. That's only about 6,000 miles. A320 Sim Pilot, yeah, watch some of his stuff. I watch everyone, you know. XP72 is great, Blue Games is great. Murph, it's looking like hashtag 18 might be sorted in the next update. Do we believe it? It's not fully sorted. No, it's a step towards the right direction. Seemingly, it's some sort of new, architecture that they're using for their servers. I was reading up on it a while ago, but I don't think it's going to be the be-all and end-all gibbo. But definitely a step in the right direction. Definitely. Moose is brilliant, Super Typhon. Yeah, I love Moose. Moose Stafford, brilliant. Flight Deck to Sim, Jepson. Yeah, watched plenty of his stuff. Took the Horizon 787 for a spin earlier. It's really nice. The EFB is better than the new one. Don't get me started on the 7 or on the PMDG tablet. Jesus. Sim Caesar, deadly. Sim Caesar's great. He does some awesome stuff on whatchamacallit, on Pilot Edge. Did you see the range I got out of the H160? No. How far did you get out of it, Epic? I did see that they're adding a separate server for the beta users. Yeah. Not as much a fan of flying the Part 121s myself, says Phantom. Yeah, 100%. What speed are we doing? We're doing 283 knots over the ground, Mach 0.865. That's giving us about 560 over the ground. We're just about to hit top of drop, top of descent, and we're going to be descending here. Oh Jesus, we're going to be descending here fairly lively. Lads, look at the view there. Look at the state. Jeez, it got dark quick, didn't it? A nighttime arrival into Andrews Air Force Base. Sure, listen, we'll take it. Murph, quick question. RTX 4080 or 4090? I have a 4090, Gabe. Epic got 523 nautical miles out of it. What? Isn't it only rated for like 450 or something? That's savage, Epic Fool. Have you flown anything since? That's incredible. Patrick says, Murph, if you want to scare me for Halloween, just put on a Liverpool jersey. I have a Liverpool jersey. Gibbo went out and got me... Jesus. Gibbo went out and he got me a Liverpool jersey. And it has Murphy on the back of it. What? Jesus. I was born at Andrews Air Force Base. My dad was in the military, says Zard. Oh, nice. Yeah, Patrick, I do, yeah. Yeah, I do, yeah. Epic is like, no, I haven't flown anything else. It's really, really good. Hang on, Patrick. Now, I didn't go out and buy it, like, you know what I mean? I'm after upsetting all the Liverpool people, especially Tarnish Mossman. Alright, calm down, lads, alright. It was a comment taken out of perspective, but it's all grand now, do you know? Did you hear that? Sound like an orb. But you still have it. Oh yeah, still have it, yeah. I also have the t-shirt that says I love Gibbo on the back of it. I need to wear that more often, you know? I should wear that for Halloween. You need to be thinking ahead, lads, do you know? You must like it some bit. Chicken nuggets. Pin dippers. Brilliant. Zezab. Yeah, brilliant. Keane Lafford, you got it there exactly. Did you hear that? I just thought I heard something. Sounded like it was some sort of an orb. No, it was a bit of dust. Derek, bit of dust. Derek Accorda. I saw the Blue Angels do a show over Andrews way back when. They were still flying the A4s, says Sterling. No way, man. And a Chanach. What tablet? It's Halloween in 30 minutes. No. Super Ty, we're back in the future. An hour and 30 minutes. It's 10:30 local. There's been a murder. That's brilliant. Keane Lafford, you have the ability to type exactly how it sounds. That is brilliant. There's been a murder. That's fantastic. Oh, jeez, that's brilliant. Right, where are we at? We're nearly there. That's brilliant. There's been a murder. Oh, there's Muse fan, look. Can I have that Liverpool jersey, Murph? I need something to light the fire with. Jesus. Oh, Keane Lafford. A mad driving a lad. Brilliant, isn't it? That's classic. Lads, look at this state of this flying here. This is epic. It's epic. And you're not flying easy aircraft, like. Mr. Don is like, honestly, holy hell, how far behind am I? I don't know, but by the time I bring this in for a landing, sure, listen, lads, it'll be grand. Oh, totally fine, do you know? But yeah. We'll do one more song and then it's all, you know what I mean? Getting ourselves ready for the landing, right? So we're here in our Air Force 1-age. Now, will this plane automatically descend? Probably not. I have a little doohickey down here that I can change my altitude with. Flight level change. Start a descent. According to my tablet, where do we need to be? We need to be down at 266. Alright, drop her down there a little bit. Now, can't hear you from that far down the league. Or has her left the plane? Wait, what? Cybok. Is the president alive? Oh, yeah, no, he's grand. Oh, yeah, sleepy, dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy. Do you know? Elaine said she would be claustrophobic in your man cave. Now, you'd think that, but really you wouldn't. You see, there's a lot more going on in here than meets the eye. This is looking at roughly about half of the room. There's another half down this neck of the woods, behind the camera, right? So it's not actually too bad. Do you know? It looks worse than it is, Elaine, but it's not as bad as it looks, if that makes sense. And there's a door just there, look. Well, you can't see it, but there's a door there, you know. Like, from where you can see, that's stopping just in front of the monitor, so there's another...
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Necklace Ray! There's another, I don't know, what's that? 7 or 8 feet behind the camera, over that way. Where I have another shelf of things, but this is the shelf of many things, you know. Is it the cat door? The cat door. Well, the cat comes in here. You know, have you opened the door that says man cave? Brilliant. Do you know, brilliant. Now let me see. Right, we're about to do some serious flying here, lads. Things are going to. Jeez, yeah, it's proper nighttime. Look, we can't see much. So we're currently descending. Mendez has redeemed police lights. Good man yourself. There you are. That's how the lights work, lads. You can play with the lights. A feature of Twitch. Mine says Pirates Den. Nice. Arr, he says as he walks into the den of iniquity. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting landing. It's nighttime. Do you know what I mean? And we're turning. Oh, jeez. Right, it's getting serious now, lads. We have to go back. Body. We have to go back to this cam, right? Now, this is where it all gets very fancy and stuff. Yeah, myself and Gibbo, as you can imagine now, we were doing all sorts of jiggery pokery today when it comes to the bots and like multi-streaming and all this sort of jazz. And I have to say, Gibbo, them changes I made after the first stream earlier on, I've dropped 5 frames in 2 hours and 40 minutes, right? So it's a huge, it's sorted, right? And we should be getting 4K over on YouTube, and we should be getting everything as normal here on Twitch, right? If Murph was president, he would issue an executive order that requires all Americans to wear Crocs and read everything. Balls. I've just been vipered. Where's the button? Here it is. I wonder will that get through. But yes, thank you, Viper Strike. You ledge. Right, what's happening here now? Who's in charge? Who's in charge? It's all looking great. Thanks, Gibbo. So yeah, I've a bit of I'm off tomorrow, but tomorrow is like I'm back to work on Wednesday. Tomorrow for me is what we call what I call a coding or fixing things up day, right? Because I'm flight planning our next Monday night series, and there's a lot of kind of prep that's needed for that. But I also need to tweak the bot. We're getting double alerts for some reason. And now that we know this is working, just to kind of put things into perspective, the streams have always been, and they always will be, on Twitch. But when I started, they used to be on both platforms. From now, they will always be on both platforms, right? So, and the idea here is well, that's just the way we want it to be. We want it to be. So there's no interruption, there's no changes that you guys need to worry about. It just means we're live in both places. The advantage to this is, and it's something that has been missing from the channel for some time, is if you miss a stream, you have limited time to watch it back on Twitch. At least now, you'll see it all on YouTube if you want. You know what I mean? So it's an automatic thing. You can also do clips over there. You can do other stuff there, so it's handy. Super Ty, that is correct and right. Well, not entirely. There's a way around everything. Do you know what I mean? For instance, if I start playing my keyboard and the recorder at the same time, never thought of that, actually. We'll figure it out. Right, indicate airspeed 310. Right, we're going to bring this puppy down a little bit because we're booting it. So bring our speed back down to 250, please. Why are we leveling off at 26,000? No, don't like that. Speed, bring it down. Vertical speed, bring it down. Okay, this isn't going to go exactly the way I want it to. We should be down at 9,000 feet and 24 miles. Jesus, lads. Business is going to pick up here. Passengers, hold on to something. Hammy has a question, a serious one. What was the very heavy track you played on the Route 66 night? You were in the TBM. I need to know. The very heavy track Was it the one from Captain Butters? Wigwam, I think it was, Hammy. That was probably the heaviest track we had. I think it was from Wigwam. Captain Butters will tell us all about it. I forget the name of it. But that was fairly heavy now. Right, get the speed down here a little bit. Let's say 250 knots. Look at this. Hello, Fireflies. Look at the lights behind us, lads. This is deadly. Wigwam bam. Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah. Good tunage, though. Great tunage. Now, lads, I know it's pitch black and all, but I might just brighten it up a little bit just for the crack, will we? Because, I mean, Jesus. You know, oh, look at that, though. These are sort of skills you get, you know. God controls, we'll call them. I think you need to dive. Offly Man says, no, we're okay. Just control the speed a bit. Add a bit of speed breakage. There we go. Okay, auto throttle. Get rid of all that. I'm better flying this myself. Famous last words. Isn't that kind of stunning? Isn't it, Keen? It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the state of it, lads. Where would you get it? Where would you get it? Microsoft Flight Sim is where you get it. F-14 flying by with his gear down. Do your gears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Oh, lads, look at the state of that. Look at the state of that. Click. I can't get over the skill of you lads flying along. It looks so impressive. It's nothing short of beautiful. It really, really is. I've been enjoying this jet series. Now, lads, I need to time the next one, right? I've been chatting to Just Flight. So, the Monday night series next week, it's not time for the thing yet. So, bear with me. There's other jets here we can have a look at as well. I need to kind of prolong it because, like, there's no point me just streaming a certain aircraft if you guys don't have it. I want to avoid that. Yeah. So I'm going to delay it. Like, I can do like a beta of the aircraft, but you guys won't be able to fly it. So there's no point really, right? So next Monday, I'll pick another jet maybe, or we'll fly in the FS Reborn FSR 500. We'll do something. But we'll be finishing this series with a long haul, but I'm timing it for the release of the Vulcan. Yeah? My favourite part of Route 66 flight was Murph photo album. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard. Jesus, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, we're laughing at your face. What? Oh, are we going to make this? No, not a bleeding hope of it, Murph. 30 miles to get down this much. Ah! Don't panic! Dive! What sort of an amateur are you, Murph? You never turned off your things. Anyway, we're alright. Pocahontas, Murph. Right, lads, we're diving here now. 245 on the knots. That's okay. Strap in. Yeah, be grand. Don't fall over, whatever you do. There you go now, you big Jesse. No, there's no release date yet, QC Frank. That's what I mean. Like, I can get my hands on an early build, but like... And that could be fun, right? For me, but you guys won't be able to fly along with me, and I don't want that. I want us all to be able to fly together. So as soon as I get the nod from Just Flight to give me a date, that's when we'll plan it in a stream, right? And for that stream, I'll make sure there's a giveaway or two available for you guys for the Just Flight stuff. So that's what I'm trying to time, right? So because the idea here is we're going to hop in, we're going to learn the aircraft together, and then we're going to take it for a spin. That's the plan. But I want to wait until it's out for everyone. I don't want to just jump ahead and say... I might preview it outside of our stream, but there's no point doing a group flight without you guys being able to have that aircraft. That'd kind of suck, because, you know, look at Murphy, a big divil in your big fancy plane, while everyone else doesn't have it, you know? So that's what I want to do. Hey, Johnny Airvark is here. It's good to see you. So Just Flight are working on it, but there is no release date just yet. But as soon as there is, I'll let you know. We'll know all about it. This is looking fierce interesting. We've recovered the descent. I think we're okay now. Jesus, 53 knots of a crosswind. This is interesting. All the predictions are coming in from me landing. Thanks for the vote of confidence, lads. Look how dark it gets here. It's pretty quick, isn't it? Jesus. Hammy, Wombat, James, Big Papa Polly, Renoir, you lads have been absolutely off the hook tonight as my sim pauses and now you'll all fly away. It does that. They were there a minute ago. Amanay's there looking good. How do you bypass a discon in a disco? Okay, go to your legs page. Find where your discontinuity is. Click on the waypoint just after it. That'll put it in the scratch pad. And then click on the disco, the discontinuity, and that'll paste in what you have in the scratch pad. That'll fix it. So the PMDG AFB has been released. It has. It's nothing to write home about. It's as basic can get. It's very functional though. You sim paused. Jesus. So is the PMDG really? Yeah. Jesus, if we get a sim crash, oh, we're live. We could get a sim crash here, lads, so we need to be careful. What's this down here? It's a power station, look. Look at that. Right, 9,000 feet. How far do you want to go now? Down to 5,000. Jesus, lads, it's all happening quick here, isn't it? Right, get her down to 5, please. Continue that descent. Keep her going down lively. So it's going to be 5, 4.5, 3.5. Okay. We can see our approach in here. Things are going to start happening fairly quick. So lights are on. Auto brake we're going to set for number 2. Auto brake 2 is set. Yeah, I disappeared. I came back though. I've come to the conclusion that I don't like the Asobo F18. Hopefully someone else brings a much better version. Eamon, you're on the PC, right? So there's a decent F18 freeware. There's 2 of them. What was the modded one called? Jay Winokur used to fly it the whole time. That was very good. That was excellent. Big Carlo's away. Gotta go cook some bacon and then more bacon because the only thing better than bacon is more bacon. Big Carlo, you take care, my dude. The Super Warrior, yeah. Does that still work, Jay Winokur? Also, at some stage, I'm going to annoy you because I want a bit of a tutorial on a bit of DCS. The Warrior mod, yeah. Yes, to an extent. Yeah, it needs an update, doesn't it? It's only available from the website, not flightsim.to. Ah, right. Gotcha. Right, 5,000 feet. Doing well. Many thanks for the follow. Who's that? Amic. Cheers, man. Okay, but you started an alert, you devil. Right, we'll put back on the auto throttle. We're going to go speed. We'll go 220. Thank you. Now we should be able to go back to VNAV now. No, it doesn't like VNAV because it's going to try and climb us. So speed, bring it back down to about 220 here. I'm going to make it brighter again, lads. Like, it's nice at night time, but I want to be able to see you guys. Do you know what I mean? And look at the state of the weather. Look at this. Beautiful. Okay, so decon, revo, Hulvey, and then straight in. Does anyone have the ILS frequency for 1.9er left? We're getting some chop here. I've no idea what these Murph punt things are, but apparently predicting me gives me a temporary badge. Good man yourself. Oh yeah, what does that do? Predicted. Oh, they're points. There's something to do with points or something. No, it's not there. Wait, what? Oh, there's thingies. Yeah, there's numbers beside your name. There it is. This is gorgeous. Look at this. Ah, lads, look at this. There's some crazy wind and cloud here. It's 31 knots at 5,000 feet. This is brilliant. Right, get down to 3.5, Murph. Just sail it. 3.5, V speed. Drop the nose. 1,000 feet a minute. We're probably too early for approach. We'll go ahead and arm it. Airport's on our left. We're in the soup. You can win points if you win the prediction. Ah, this is brilliant. So as I said, myself and Gibbo, we're working on jiggery pokery. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background, as there usually does, right? But we're working on the bot with different integrations and what it can do. And we've only we've only today really kind of found a thing that we want to use. And like the stream today, the fact now that I'm able to stream in both places using my own equipment without having to use anything else, I'm happy as a clam. We also have a new chatbot that's doing all the work in the background. That's working very well. Kinda, right? But there's a whole load of stuff that we're going to be able to bring into the streams. Different alerts, different things. Gibbo, do you know what I need to do? There's a button. We'll talk after. We'll talk tomorrow. I don't want to keep you up all night tonight. Oh, yeah. Giggity. No, not like that. Viper Strike just landed at Nicaragua. Viper, we're landing in Washington. Did you go wrong? Look at this. Look at the state of that. Deadly. Okay, we're turning. 3,500 feet. We're on approach mode. Let's put this devil down now all the way. And let's see what happens. I got 19,000 points as I'm on crown. Oh, what? I left out a 0 in that prediction. Oh, no! Hummingbird, 104. Crap, did they have Guinness there? I voted. I am the 1%. And paparazzi. Look at us with all our fancy new interactions on Twitch. Brilliant. Right, we're on approach mode. And I'm looking for the localizer. James, I thought we would have been there already, no? Let's see what happens. This is looking absolutely incredible, lads. What a fun flight. Now, I'm expecting all this to just, you know, happen. That's deadly, Gibber. You're using channel points, so that's class, man. I like that. So is that where we pick up the localizer on the little green arrow? I think it is. But how? We haven't descended yet.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
That terrified the crap out of me. Who was that? Flying for fun, you devil! Okay, not to flaps here, Murph. Think after you use the predict purple button for it to count, lads. We don't know what we're doing. That's okay. Okay, flaps are coming down. It's raining. 31 knots against the nose here, look. Okay, let's see what she's going to do. We haven't dropped altitude yet. I'm a little bit nervous. We're set up for an auto land, but she hasn't captured it yet. You turned off VNav? No, that's gonna... No. Don't do that. There we go. So when we turn, it should capture the localizer, and then we should get on our glide slope. Oh, look at that! Hummingbird got a number! Great stuff! Uh-oh. Behave yourself, Sim. Patrick landed upside down. T-Spark, good to see you, man. Okay, gear down.
Landing gear.
All right.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
That was a hell of a turn. Man, that wind is really hitting us. And the wind to boot. Right, lads, we're letting it all hang out. Excessive simmer, please explain pressure altitude. Jesus. The local barrow here is 29992. That's an indication of the local air pressure. As air pressure and temperature moves up or down, depending on what way the weather is doing, it has an impact on the pressure around a certain area. So think of a submarine, right? It gets deeper, pressure builds onto it. It gets higher, pressure goes away from it. In the air, the higher you go, pressure pushes in on it. The lower you go, pressure moves away from it. But the weather also has an impact on it as well. Localizer is established, but we're not in the glide slope. We're above the glide slope. Come on, plane, you can do it. We're too high. Okay, this is great fun. My airplane. Right, let's keep an eye on what we're going to do here, sports fans. Jesus, we're in the soup. Easy now. What's the wind doing? 32 knots on the tail. This is friggin' nuts.
2500.
Outer marker. Don't crash sim, whatever you do. We're drifting to the right. Get back on course, Murphy. Get on that glide slope quickly. Come on, you can do it. Okie dokie. There's the glide. Putting on for 1.8. 1.9er left. Okay. We're a little bit to the right. We're below the glide. Up you divil. There's the glide. Watch your speed. We could nearly go visual from here, couldn't we? Easy now. Man alive, that wind ain't making life easy, is it? This is going to be hilarious. How's that tailwind? Right! It's brilliant! Glide slope. Yeah, sure, it's grand. Don't be worrying, plane. We have you. Oh, Jesus, I forgot how high we are in a friggin' 7.4. Easy, Murphy, will you? Jesus. Right, easy now, Jemima. You can do it! Ah, Jefferson, Jesus, the timing! Ah, Jesus, right. Oh, careful now. 500. Come on, you devil. 400. 300. Easy now, Chuck. Easy.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty,
Jesus!
snoozy, snooze.
Who was that? 100. Itchy nose!
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Get her down. Touchdown. 227. We'll take it. Find the nose. Down you get, you devil. Reverse is full. Easy now, Jemima. Jesus, that was close, lads. There's 80 knots. Bit of manual braking. There's 50. Reverse is stowed.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty,
Spoilers
snoozy,
in.
snooze.
227 feet per minute. Who won? Who won the thing? And also, that was terrifying. Auto brake is off. Maneuver to our left-hand side, Murph. Easy does it. Landing lights come off it. APU started. Alright, welcome to Joint Airbase Andrews, lads. Great crack. Hummingbird Murph won't get that. Huh? What'd she say? What'd she say? I must say I'm tremendously excited by all of this. Like a glove! Blazing Monk just got 79,000 channel points. What? Blazing Monk won it and he won all the channel points. Jesus, what can you redeem for 79,000? A lot. Mr. Bear, thank you for the follow. Jesus. I need to figure out why the autopilot didn't capture that. Like, it did enough to get us into position to be able to land, but like, yeah, more work is needed. Come on, he knows his onions. Yeah, onions have layers. Alt hold on, I think. Ah. He can redeem the channel for that. Redeem the channel. In this base game 7-4 with Air Force One, Mr. Kino, yeah, this is all stock. Jesus, Murph, drive it on there, will you? You're holding up the whole queue. Sorry about that, Mr. President. Easy does it now, lads. It's positively raining here, look. Now, Mr. President, we've landed safely there now. Jesus. Yeah. Just right. Have a listen to the, you know.
Did we land or were we shot down? Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may already know, we have hit our destination. Please remain in your seats until Captain Kangaroo Murphy bounces us to the terminal and brings the aircraft to a screeching halt against the gate. And once the tire smoke has cleared and the warning bells are silenced, we will open the cockpit doors so you can give him a piece of your mind. You'll easily spot him. He is the one still trying to get past page 10 of the flight manual with the wig and Crocs. We'd like to welcome you to Honolulu International Airport, where the weather is 30 degrees. But unfortunately, you bought tickets to somewhere else. We have arrived 10 minutes ahead of schedule as Captain Maniac Murphy thinks he's Maverick. Please be careful when opening the overhead bins, because shift happens. As you exit the plane, please make sure to gather all your belongings. Anything left behind will be distributed evenly among the crew. We hope you enjoyed giving us your business as much as we enjoyed taking you for a ride. Again, my name is Jemima, and thank you for choosing Firefly Air for your flight today. We hope you enjoyed your flight. If you didn't, my name is Bob, and you were riding with Osprey Airways. Slán. Agus Bannocht leave.
Well, all right. We have arrived at our destination. Nearly clipped the building, it's totally fine. Yeah, them wipers, they're as good as what you get now on any old Skoda. Do you know what I mean? God almighty. Hello, America. You can hear the wind, yeah, it's absolutely gusting. Wipers in sync with the tunage. Right, brilliant. Right, APU came online. Turn them on. And now we go to these gadgets and start making some... Oh, wait, hang on, turn off your lights. Runway, turn off, taxi lights, strobes, the whole shebang. We're looking good. And now we shall power down. Are we ready? Oh, yeah. That was some crack, lads. That was so much fun. Like, what an arrival into this mad-looking place, where the weather is positively terrifying. But just did an incredible job. We had so many people flying along with us. Look at that. We've 2 aircraft. One is the decoy. Probably that thing. And one is the real one. Everyone parked up in formation. That was a lot of fun, lads. Thank you so much indeed. My phone is listening to you. I've been seeing Skoda ads. That's deadly. Flying for fun, that's hilarious, Craig. But lads, I want to thank you so much for tuning into us tonight. If you're here on Twitch or indeed over on YouTube, thank you very much indeed. This was so much fun. We're back to you this coming Wednesday for this week's Flight Sim news. We're also going to be checking out the Dash 7, and we'll see what else we can get our hands on as well. Do you know what I mean? And then on Friday night, we have another group flight, this time flying in the Beaver. It's been updated by the guys over at Got Friends, and they've tweaked it and done all sorts of cool stuff. Pretty awesome stuff, right? So my thanks to our team of moderators who work tirelessly in the background, and a big shout out to Gibbo for all the help there today. You absolute ledge. And thank you very much indeed. Muse and Old Veteran, huge thanks to you. For everyone who tuned in, for all the follows, all the likes and subscribes, and all the resubs. Thank you very much indeed, lads. So what we're going to do, I'm going to press a button that's going to stop us on a YouTube. So to our YouTube viewers, thank you very much indeed, and we'll see you very soon.